$19 billion in crypto liquidations. How Trump's 100% China tariff threat triggered the biggest crash ever. You can see all the liquidations. It was absolutely insane. Like I said, I've never quite seen anything like it in the crypto market.
A Fox News alert, ecstatic Israelis celebrating President Trump as he heads to the Middle East later today for tomorrow's signing of his historic ceasefire as the remaining hostages are set to finally be released from Hamas terrorists.
They have a problem in England with people coming across, the water and just invading the country. To solve the problem instead, they're just going to have everybody have a digital identity. That way, you'll know if they're a British citizen or not. Oh, there's an easier way to solve this. I don't know. No, you just stop the illegal immigration. You would send people back. You do that. You do that. No.
One of the things I think about is digital ID. Our Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, reckons, of course, that we're going to have this thing mandatory because he wants to clamp down on illegal migration. If you believe that, you believe anything, quite frankly.
Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle. Welcome to God's Little Acre. I am surrounded by nature, by woodlands, and lots of chirping birds. They're so loud in my ear I can hear them. Can you hear them? It's Sunday, which means we're going to bring you this week's world news. I thought about canceling today's show because our schedule is so jam-packed. So then I made the decision, no, we'll just push it back 45 minutes. 45 minutes turned into an hour and 7 minutes. I'm so sorry that we are so tardy, but hey, it's better to be here than not to be here and not have a world news show at all. Today's show is going to consist of more topics of the digital ID. I have to tell you, I'm terrified of this. Leah and I were taking a dog walk yesterday, and I said to her after watching, it was late last night, I was watching Whitney Webb on Glenn Beck. We're going to play a little bit of that today. And she lays out a scenario that I thought, oh my gosh, like people might actually go for that. So I asked Leah, I said, do you think that there are enough people that would go along with a digital ID like the jab? And Leah said, no, actually, I don't. Not here in the US. We also have to look at the fact that the UK is not the US. I know a lot of you guys in the UK pushed back on lockdowns. You pushed back on the mandates and all of the things. But in the UK, I'm just not sure. Leah posed this idea. She said, Michelle, do you really think that Nigel Farage would go along with it because of his party, and they've made a big, huge stance against the digital ID? And I'm like, okay, I think that Nigel, pre-being in Parliament, would definitely say no. Post being in Parliament, I'm not sure. Because if they threaten him with the idea that if you don't comply with digital ID, you can't be a member of Parliament anymore, I'm not sure. I don't know. I love Nigel, but I'm just not sure that he would have it in him to stand up against that. Also, we have seen the world's largest crypto crash.
Historically, yeah.
It is now. It's funny to say like in historic, like, because crypto's not that old.
Yeah.
Okay, but since crypto has been around the last 15, 20 years, it's the biggest crash that has ever been seen.
Yeah, and you're going to see, I noticed I couldn't really find a lot of good commentary on it because the only people talking about it are the people in it. And what is the main thing about Fight Club?
Whoa.
You never leave Fight Club.
Hang on. I feel like I lost audio. Maybe not. Okay.
You can't, if you have ever been in crypto, you're
Yeah.
not allowed to leave. You can only bring in new recruits because if even if you pretend like you like leaving or something, you'd have to pretend because the whole idea of crypto is it's held up. It's a Ponzi scheme. If people left Mary Kay, there wouldn't be any more Mary Kay, and I don't even know if Mary Kay exists anymore. Okay,
They do actually.
well, I haven't been to a party. Wow.
I don't think that people are doing parties anymore, but it does exist.
So, but the crypto guys are all like making, videos like, I sold everything, just kidding. And then like the one thing, what is the one of the big t-shirts that they have out there? It's HDL, hold. Always hold.
Yeah.
Always
on your
hold.
crypto.
Yeah, you never sell.
Right.
Never sell. You only hold.
Right.
Okay. You're only supposed to get out every once in a while when you need a little bit of money, and you're just supposed to watch it. There's a lot of like long-term people in, like, I'm in it for the long term. I'm in it for the long term. And I am very, 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 very suspicious of the Trump kids, specifically Eric and the little one, because they're into
Don Jr.
No, the little one,
Baron.
Yeah. So Baron is super crypto guy.
Okay.
And Eric and this whole family was behind a big pump and dump Trump. They call them SHIT coins. I don't want to call them that.
Really? Who does?
Oh, you haven't heard of them?
No.
Anything that's not like so
I actually agree with the term, not actually using the curse word, but I believe that's what they are.
So when you hear crypto guys explaining this event,
Okay,
they'll say, yes, the main so crypto is not just Bitcoin. Okay.
Right, exactly.
It's
That's
made
like
up
saying all
of
soda is Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's made up of what some people call like stable coins.
Mhm.
And then what you would call the bad, the poop coins. Okay. Now those are going to be like your Doge coins, right? The Trump meme coins. They don't mean anything. They don't do anything. They're not fungible in like going to the store or something. Now there's a lot
Right.
of places that do take crypto banks are taking them, but they don't take them all.
Right.
Okay. You can't just like make up your own meme coin, say that they're such and such a value, and then go to the bank,
Right.
and then start depositing that money, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not how crypto works. And so a lot of people are in crypto, and a lot of people are, in what you would call the stable coins.
Yeah.
Those are just the guys that have been around the longest. All of crypto coins are all made up.
Yeah.
Okay. The idea that they are going up or down in value is just like for the dollar. It should not be going up or down.
Yeah.
The guy who supposedly the person that nobody can talk to, that nobody knows exists, who created this crypto coin, and you can still mine them, and they're still out there, and it takes a tremendous amount of electricity to quote unquote find one of these Bitcoins. And you've got like Charlie and the chocolate factory, and
the golden ticket.
So you've got like China and all these other places spending a gargantuan amount of electricity and computer waves to try to find more Bitcoin. And I don't know how many more are out there, but Bitcoin itself did crash. It crashed. It went down historic numbers. There are, just like in the stock market, and you may not know this, a lot of people over leverage themselves. They borrow to buy.
Yeah.
They don't have the money to buy the crypto coin. So what they're doing is they're hoping that Bitcoin, let's say, is $130,000, and they borrow to buy.
Right.
And then they have to pay that back if it goes down.
Right.
Okay. So one Ukrainian man who did committed suicide.
That's awful.
Okay. People are thinking he probably owed some people money, probably, ran some accounts for other people.
Yikes.
It's a big thing in the Slavic countries,
Okay.
in Ukraine, Romania,
You said
Ukraine, in Ukraine, in Romania, in Russia, even, and then obviously in like China and things like that. People around the world, everyone is trying to make a dollar without working.
Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to say, I want to, I want this to go up. I want this to go up.
I've
No.
never, can I just say, like, I've never thought about that. Like, I've never thought about how can I make money without doing work.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't.
Well, it's all about investments. It's all about, make your money work for you,
But
and people,
I'm not that person.
I know. Well, I mean, it's
You know why?
the essence of a savings account.
But it's not, because to me, it's the same thing as gambling. So I've
Right.
never entertained the idea of, why don't I take this 20 and go bet it on,
Right.
Horseshoe Downs? Like, I was raised, can I say better? I don't know. I was raised better than to risk.
Well, technically, and I'm going to throw this out there for people just to let you know, because I'm open and transparent. The S&P 500 over time has tracked fairly well with inflation. If you were in the stock market and you stayed in the stock market and if you kept certain stocks in 2008, like P&G, that went down when we were doing it, it went down to like 60. I don't know where it's at right now, but
When you say we were doing it, describe that.
my grandma had
We
stocks
did not
and
ever
we had
do
to
that.
help
We had
her
to
sell
help
them.
No, we had to help the estate.
Yeah.
Our corrupt uncle, not the one that lives with us. We
Yeah.
had to work with it. That's not, we
Yeah.
didn't do it.
Right, but we
It's just
had to.
that's where we learned what
So
we
we
know.
watched it go down,
Yeah.
and then we watched, like, my uncle saw us a little bit, and I've watched it double since.
And
then.
it was heartbreaking. So
Mhm.
I know Leah has a lot more to say on this, but I knew someone, I'm not friends with them anymore, who had invested in FTX, almost everything that they had, and they had a good amount.
Yeah.
And it was, when it was
His whole
gone,
life
his whole
savings.
life went kaput.
Mhm.
And it impacted thousands of people.
Yeah.
His life going kaput impacted thousands of people, and he lost everything in FTX. And so everybody wants to tell me, like, Michelle, you don't understand. It's really not that big of a deal. It's not the same thing as gambling. It's a sure bet. It's not. Okay, so if it's a sure bet, then what? It's still a bet, and it's not a sure bet. You can't tell me that when you have your money in the stock market. Here's the thing. I will take it a step further. You can't tell me that when you have your money in the bank, it's a sure bet. And what's even worse is that when you have your money in the paper dollar, all of it, anything that is in the fake fiat category, it's what level of risk are you willing to take?
Mhm.
Okay. But it's all a risk. And some
Yeah.
people may say, Michelle and Leah, like, gold and silver is still a risk. No, it is not. And I'm
No.
going to tell you why. Because gold and silver is real money.
Mhm.
Everything that is not
Yeah.
gold and silver is the
Mhm.
fake thing. So you can say, but if I buy silver at $50 while it's up and then it goes down to 35, then well, I've lost. Look, you're wrong. No, you're wrong.
Mhm.
Because anything that is not gold and silver
Mhm.
is fake. And so what we're doing is we're basing the value of real money on paper money. No, we don't do that. That's not how life functions. Yeah, but Michelle, I have to function in the real world. That I get.
Mm.
That I get. You still have to. I still have to. We still all have to spend paper dollars in order to acquire goods.
Mm.
But in the long term, and I mean long term as in like in our lifetime, gold and silver is the thing that maintains its value. The paper dollar is only ever going to continue to crash and to go down. And these Bitcoins, these digital currencies, are probably, to me, the most risk that you can like have. I mean, next to like high risk investments. And I just look at everybody and I'm thinking to myself, guys, like, I get it. You're desperate because times are bad and things are really scary out there. And it's hard to buy milk and bread and eggs in the whole 9 yards. But if
So-
you're struggling to buy, if you're in the mindset of I'm struggling to buy milk and bread and eggs, then you're not in the candidacy to invest in crypto. So somewhere in your brain, you have it mixed up like, well, I'm just struggling and I have to invest in crypto because things are so bad. And I'm like, if things are so bad, then then you shouldn't be out there risking your finances with something that is not only evil, Okay, but so is the paper dollar. But crypto is evil. It's in the word. Like I just think of the tales of the crypt. It's death.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's literal slavery. Like the digital ID and digital currency go hand in hand. So if you can come on my show and be so against digital ID, but you're okay with crypto, then you're not really against digital ID. You're not against a digital future at all. You're totally buying into it. And so I say all this with love, but we need to recognize when you are being brainwashed.
So, Zero Hedge, and I just now checked Zero Hedge, tweeted out earlier today and said, this is the odds are that Trump will have a Sunday post after the great carnage I'm going to talk to you about. They posted this on October 10th at 5:57. Odds of Trump's Sunday evening post. Had a great call with China's wonderful President Xi Jinping, and our relations have never been better. Look forward to our meeting in 2 weeks. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
That was a predictive. Someone was like, this is what I think it's going to be. And then I'm guessing he literally.
Yeah. So on True Social, just mere minutes ago, Trump says, don't worry about China. It will all be fine.
Stop it.
Highly respected President Xi just had a bad moment. He doesn't want depression for his country, and neither do I. The USA wants to help China, not hurt it. President DJT.
So does that mean that we're not doing 100% tariffs?
We don't know yet. We don't know. But this is what this whole idea of this the markets, the idea of the crypto, we did this back in April, right? Where there was panic sell-offs. And here's the thing. In these panic sell-offs that happens, and in the panic sell-offs that we're to talk about with crypto, people lost millions of dollars based on Trump's tariffs and Trump's tweets. Some of these lesser respectable ETFs and meme coins and things like that were wiped out. Some people will say, well, if you just stay in the market, you'll be fine. That's okay, unless you're like the example with my grandma, who had a third of her wealth in 2008 in GM and Ford. And she probably would have been the one who held on to the last breath. If she stayed alive, she would have stayed in to the last breath, to where GM and Ford went to zero and everybody lost all. And then they were bought by the government, and then they had to start over again. Okay. It went down to nothing, like zero, right? I think at one point, I think Matt was, he's like, yeah, I looked at GM at $3 and I thought maybe I should buy at the dip. You have Eric.
I think we had my uncle we can finally convince him to sell at $8.
I think it was 8 or 11. Yeah.
It was something crazy low.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was a huge loss. And what happened with a tweet from Trump caused people to lose millions and one guy to commit suicide. And we're just supposed to gloss over that and be like, everything just fine.
Don't worry about China.
These are real people. These are real lives. Okay. Like we said on Friday, Trump is using people as pawns, and he doesn't care if you or I get wiped out. This is not the stocks are going down, stocks are going up. Don't worry about it. It's 60 today. It'll be 80 tomorrow. No big deal. That's not what's happening. People are losing. Now, some people stayed in, some people left. And then the problem with gambling is you don't know when to pull out. And if you, and the people who pull out lose, and then other people win. One guy, we don't know who he is, but you can follow crypto accounts. I got to find the exact number. Made hundreds of millions of dollars, opened an account right before Trump tweeted it out, made millions, and then got out.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's so convenient.
I know.
So convenient for them.
I know, right? I know. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And we're also going to talk about the prisoner exchange on the Israeli side. They have Hamas prisoners.
Yeah.
And they will be exchanging terrorists for civilians who are hostages.
Right.
And that is supposed to happen anytime today through tomorrow. However, there was a bombing, I believe it's a bombing, I have to check this, keep my story straight, in Egypt, of part of the an envoy in Egypt. I believe it was Qataris, and 3 people died. So this is a volatile situation still. And one of the hostages, Israeli hostages, whose mother committed suicide in 2023, his girlfriend and he were there were all those people at that like Bohemian concert, right?
October 7th.
Right.
Right.
No, but there was a concert.
Yeah,
it was all over Israel.
I know.
But then there was a group at a concert, like
Yeah.
this Bohemian concert.
Right.
Little new agey people, okay? And they were dancing, singing, Kumbaya. And then the soldiers parachuted in, okay? Well, this particular young man got under a car with his girlfriend and they played dead. Well, while the soldiers went past, the soldiers saw these supposedly dead people and shot them.
No.
And they killed his girlfriend under his arms, and they shot him, and then they took him. I think they took him hostage, and then he was released.
Wow.
And he committed suicide yesterday. He couldn't take the pain anymore. He set his own car on fire.
Oh my gosh.
So we are living in a world, and I don't want I that's why we kind of do the shows outside. Because I want to live in a world where I get up every day and I feed my pigs and I feed my chickens and I see Mr. Augie get up in a chair. It's so cute. He's so cute.
Probably turn the camera to see. You can see those dogs there.
Well, how many of you have dogs that sit in chairs? He's so funny. He's so funny. So I want to live in a world of dogs that don't fight. But imagine you live with like dogs that did fight, and they fought and they bite, they fought to the death. Like there's another world out there, and there are these protesters who, are protesting for Palestine and for Hamas, and then you have Israel, who is actually trying to influence our government, and the entire right-wing political movement is divided between those who take money from Qatar and those who take money from Israel. And then there's the rest of us over here who, don't get to take money from anybody, and nobody's called and asked me, and I haven't even been bribed.
You keep being offended about that, and you wouldn't take it anyway.
I would love a phone call from Putin just to see.
From Putin?
Yeah, because I could honestly do some spots.
Leah.
I do advertising for Lynette because I believe in her. Okay? I already do some good spots on Putin. Okay? And I feel like I could do a little Russian advertising with honesty.
We're going to jail.
But I could not do.
We are going to go to jail.
Honest advertising for Qatar. Like that, I think that comes a little bit out of the blue. And by the way, let's party on the rooftop. Like one of this, I saw, I don't know who this representative woman is. She's won in Congress, but she spent the 4th of July. Laura Loomer tweeted it out that she spent 4th of July at the Qatari embassy in the United States partying on their rooftop. I love that embassies have rooftop parties, whatever. But she's drunk as a skunk with all these Qataris. And you know that like radical Islam does not allow these women. But if you got to buy them off, you got to buy them off, right? You got to allow the 60-plus-year-old woman to get drunk and dance on your rooftop so that you can she's married, by the way.
Can everybody just stop drinking? Like I'm so serious about this. Like it's so
Look at, I've got my
Awful.
Queen's
It's
Jubilee
so
cup
embarrassing.
that somebody sent with a little tea bag in it.
Like I come from a family on both sides of alcoholics, and
My mother,
I
not
wanted,
my mother's,
here's the
my
thing, here's the
mother's
thing,
family.
here's the thing.
Not my mother.
You may need to drink to drown your sorrows. I get that. Your life may be that
Drown
miserable,
your
and my heart breaks for
sorrows.
people out there like that. Okay,
Listen, if you lost money
But
with Bitcoin, I get it.
nobody that is sober
Sober.
likes to be around
Drunk people.
drunk people.
No.
We don't like you. You're not fun. You're annoying. You're like the little kid that like everybody is just like, will they
And
just stop?
And you think you're being funny because you're loose.
Like I can't with all the drinking. Like I don't understand. Even like in the Clay Clark scene, right? Leah and I, one time, I think. Well,
It's been
it's been a couple times where we end up at these places where all of your favorites.
Michelle, it's been several.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking of the Dr. Eric Naputi's house, and I'm not blaming Eric on this. It's just,
but every time we go out to eat, and everybody starts drinking,
all
and
like
I'm just
all of your favorites, all of the doctors, all of the lawyers, all the people that you love, they all drink, and I can't stand being around them. Like I don't even. It feels icky.
Well,
it feels gross.
Because here's the thing: they change, and they get all loosey goosey and start to slur their words a little bit, and you don't.
Stop.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And you don't. And so did it mess up? I accidentally stepped on it. Sorry. And you don't start to slur your words. So you feel like, everybody else is a little bit high and you're over here like not high. And so like, I remember looking at like our friends, Robert and Jamie, who didn't drink, and we're kind of the only ones that are just kind of like still in the zone.
And here's the thing. I'm not just talking like the Christians.
Oh, they're all Christians.
The Christians. Even the strong Christians that speak in tongues.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like, I can't. So it's not a judgment thing.
It's not judgment.
I just can't, I don't like it. And so Leah and I have made choices. Like I'm not going out. Here's the thing. I don't ever have to be around drunk people. Like I have a choice. I am an adult. I can walk away. Okay. So if people invite me out to dinner and they're going to be drinking and I can say, I'm sorry, I don't want to be around you. You're drinking. Like that's my choice.
Well,
I'm going to tell you this.
That's something we've had to make a decision.
We haven't done it in the past. I'm talking about now in the future.
Walked away. Yeah.
I have made a choice.
I know.
As far as I can see I can't see myself in a situation where I would be agreeing in the future to have dinner or lunch or be in a social setting where people are drinking. I don't want to do it. I don't like to be around people that are drinking. Like I just don't like it. I don't like you when you're drinking. I like you when you're not. I don't like you when you are. So this woman I feel like alcohol gets served at places like this a lot so that they can
get you in compromising,
especially if you're talking about an embassy. So the idiocy of whether it's a Clay Clark event or whether it's the embassy, for you to ever go and put yourself in a position where you may do or say something that someone could use against you later on.
Not a smart thing.
You're not smart.
Yeah.
And these are all the people that you guys love as the doctors and the lawyers. They're not smart because they're putting themselves in a situation where they may do something or say something that they regret. And someone could get it on camera and then use it against them. Like it's just not smart. If you're going to drink alone.
So I actually want to bring up, I did not have this one up. Michelle, I don't know if you can bring up my Twitter, but now that you said that, Tucker did an interview with a guy with Representative Tim Burchett. And let's see, this is the one you want to see. I'm going to try to find the one where he says that there's a lot of good clips here. He says that people go overseas, try to find the clip here, and they get bribed, right?
Is it blackmail or bribed?
It's blackmail.
Right. So bribing is different. I mean, you're the one that's sitting over here asking to be bribed. So we're not talking, you're not talking about bribing.
Here we go. Political blackmail. Here we go. Little clip here. Tim Burchett.
Are you going to retweet it?
I just did. Yeah.
Okay. Let me make sure I'm on the right screen here. There we go. All right. Let's see if he says the same thing that Michelle says. Probably. Because Michelle's so smart. Did not retweet. Are you in the right Twitter?
I'm in the Twitter. I'm in the
new Twitter.
I'm in the new Twitter.
You guys can follow us on the new Twitter, Resistance Chicks without the I. There we go.
You're sitting at a bar and they know what you're into, guys, gals, combination thereof, drugs, whatever, and they'll hook you up and you're thinking you're the stud. Your wife's away. Nobody will know halfway around the world. You end up sleeping with somebody. Next day you're flying back to America. You know, you're front row at the church, and then you're getting ready to make a key vote, and somebody comes up and whispers in your ear, "Hey man, were you in a motel room with a girl in, Istanbul or something?" And you're like, "Oh crap." He goes, "Man, we don't want that out." And he goes, No, we don't. We're not going to put that out. He says, "If you can help us on this little bill though." Now that's the way they used to do it. And I'm not so certain they don't do that now.
Oh my gosh, Leah, what a perfect clip for what Michelle is saying here.
I know.
My gosh, Cheryl says alcohol opens doors to demons. Well said. And Michael says alcohol destroys families. TM says highway accident stats show alcohol is the number one killer.
It really is.
Thank you. Over on Instagram, hey Mark, he says I have a 401k at work. They match 50% to my 4% per paid period. Since January, my holdings have nearly doubled. Each year in about February, I borrow about half of it and pay it back in a year. This year, digital currency is inevitable. As the standard, it will happen slowly and then all at once. I want to let y'all know the video image on Instagram is skewed. Oh, that's weird. I don't know what's going on with that. Define skewed. Is it that the camera is focusing more on the mic than it is on the, help me out on that one, Mike. Mark, I just said Mike twice. Okay, so I just want to, let's see. Gina says spirits. Yes. Honey potting.
Gina, exactly.
Spooky Mulder says read Pirate Money. This is a donation. How does that work on, what is it called when you leave your little donation to have your comment read on Rumble? Is it just called a Rumble? I don't know.
What is it called on YouTube?
I have no idea, but thank you. It says read Pirate Money by Kevin Freeman. It's about God's money, gold and silver. That's awesome.
Okay. Yes.
They also say, have you ever heard of Kevin Freeman and his book called Pirate Money? It's about gold and silver as money at the state level.
Oh, well said. That is where we need to be. Earlier,
Spooky Mulder says Leah for president, or she should run for governor of Ohio first. It's such a great idea. Although I would much rather see Neil Peterson as actual governor of Ohio. No offense to Leah. And this is a good point. Earlier from Spooky says, the reality is most of us don't have quick access to silver and gold. It's in an IRA. Then if you don't know how to keep that property, most will pay huge taxes on it when taking physical inventory. This is where I tell you guys to call Lynette Zhang. Go to resistancechicks.com/God's money and talk to them for free, literally for free. That is what they specialize in. They specialize in helping you go from that to physical gold and silver. So that's one of the reasons why we partnered with them, because that's, you can go to all these other gold and silver companies just to buy gold and silver. But if you need somebody to walk you through how you do that, that's what Zhang Enterprises specializes in. Happier with Christ says, it makes me so angry when people use, well, Jesus drank wine and made wine and hung out with the drunkards. Exactly. He didn't keep them that way, though. He pulled them out of that debauchery. So very well said. Donna says, drinking alone isn't such a good idea either. That's a good point. Very good point. Barry says, Michelle, you're kind of right. Gold and silver and other precious metals are dug out of nature. Humans have made a fake world from houses, cars, money, etc. Real things aren't man-made. They are found in the natural world, not the man-made fakery. Well said. Thank you for that.
I actually have, as I'm bringing up my tabs, I have something on that, Barry, that you might find interesting and for you guys. The problem in today's financial system is too few have ever held real gold and silver bars, and we have some inside. I don't have a gold bar. Wouldn't that be awesome? Okay.
She's so funny. She's so funny. I could take the silver one and paint it. Put a little nail polish on it.
But even the
Ooh, it's a
silver
gold
bars do
bar.
what I'm going to tell you.
She's so funny.
In their hand to feel. Here's the thing. We're not into the new agey energy type things, but why are we outside? Because there's energy. And that's
God.
I feel like new agey people have like taken the like they've taken that, they've tried to take the term to feel the sheer energy and power of God's money course through your body. This knowledge doesn't come academically. It must be felt and experienced. If you can, go to a physical coin dealer. You'll feel like an autistic kid at a crystal shop. Hold a 1 kilogram gold bar to your heart and feel it pulsate, because it will. There is a rhythm that will happen because you have little specks of gold in your heart.
I know,
and your heart knows that it's there.
I know.
Okay. You won't settle for a paper gold or silver or fiat ever again. God knew what he was doing when he made these particular coins to be in our pockets.
Yeah.
And so that we'd be holding them because it's a grounding mechanism.
Yeah.
Our pool is still open. It is October 12th. I really honestly have been wanting to get in all week for like a cold plunge, because when I get in, it does reset my system. I'm trying to see like how long can we keep it open. But just as like getting into like cold water does reset your system and kind of it removes some of the stress from your body, so does actual gold and silver.
Yeah.
And I think that that's another reason why we should wear, and we can't, or if we can wear gold or silver necklaces. Unfortunately, gold being so expensive.
Yeah.
I had this gold cross I used to love to wear, but I can't find a gold chain for it. That's not $1 gazillion.
What do you think the rappers all wear?
My
like
chain broke,
chains.
and I lost a chain, and then this.
So I have a purple. I think it's not I think it's amethyst flower that you guys see me wear all the time, and I wear a silver.
This is
chain that goes with
silver.
it.
And you guys probably see me wear this all the time. This is a silver one. But yeah. So, do you guys want to see? You need to see this one.
Oh boy.
Tell me when you have all my tabs.
Well, I have whatever you had me get up when you said to open it up. That's what I have.
Okay, I have something more then.
Yeah, I see that.
I have this one. So this is GOP conference chair Representative Lisa McClain. Lisa McClain leaked the agenda of tomorrow's scheduled, and this was from a day or two ago, hearing in the Congressional Committee on Education and Workforce titled College Presidents. The chickens are making some weird noise.
Which one of these three is it?
That one.
This one?
Yeah. Okay. So she leaked the agenda of a meeting entitled College Presidents to Answer for Sources Inciting Anti-Semitism to the Embassy of Qatar.
Oh dear, is this her?
Yes. When she found out members would be discussing Qatar's funding of U.S. colleges and universities and the pro-Palestinian activities on campus. This is her this July 4th, where she actually hosted the Qataris on Independence Day on the Qatari rooftop. Why did Congressman Lisa McClain, who serves in the House GOP leadership as a conference chair, host a party for Qatar on July 4th at the Spy Museum? I thought it was at their embassy. It's not. So scratch that from your mind record. She hosted Qataris at our Spy Museum. They probably thought that was funny too. They're like, here we are. We're totally hiding in plain sight with the boomer mom dancing all drunk and fancy free. Okay. So, and then her chief of staff, his name is Nick Hawatadeh. He's Jordanian. Oh. And Eric Kinney, her policy director, have taken numerous trips to Qatar. When I talk to you, Michelle, nobody gets up today and says, hey, would you like to go on a vacation or a trip to Qatar? Why are U.S. Congresspeople and their chief of staff getting in an airplane and going to this little tiny place called Qatar? Okay. And why do they have so much money? Because we're driving around. Their gasoline, their oil. Okay. So these are that are publicly disclosed on her staff's travel documents or FAR records and well documented on her social media. She said, Laura says, I've also obtained the memo that the Embassy of Qatar prepared and sent out to members of Congress after they were tipped off by Lisa McClain and her staff. Sources on the Hill say that her pro-Qatar office leaked the Education and Workforce Committee memo on anti-Semitism on college campuses to Qatar before the hearing this week so that Qataris would have the questions ahead of time so that they could push back on the committee with Qatari talking points. And there she is dancing with the Qataris. And she's this little boomer mom, was hammered drunk, and says that she was falling all over her staff very inappropriately.
Chris says, how embarrassed is her family?
Money, money, money.
They're probably like, hey,
money. Mom's bringing in the money.
Go ahead,
it
Mom.
don't matter. It don't matter. I would be embarrassed. Normal people would be embarrassed, right?
Barry says, I've held gold bars, silver bars, platinum bars, and of course, my work, and it made me feel like I wanted to do a runner. What does that mean?
Like
runner?
take a run?
Like go
Get excited? You got energy? Is that what you're...
Or do you mean like go rob something? So yesterday, I say this, it's so funny. If I tell you this story, I have to admit to something. I don't want to have to do that. You admitted to something bad the other day, so I'll admit to mine. So
I don't like where this is going.
Yesterday, I built a bee shed.
Oh,
I
okay.
just touched the mic. Jeez, oh my gosh. Are we still good? Yesterday I built a bee shed. I can show you the picture. Wait, hang on.
Oh, and by the way, while you're doing that,
I think we're back. Wait, let me check. Okay.
Speaking of Qatar, the U.S. Education Secretary William Bennett just registered as a foreign agent for Qatar. He's being paid $30,000 a month to convince Americans that Qatari universities don't support Islamic extremism. That's a pretty penny.
That's not a small amount.
No, and he's the U.S. Education Secretary, and he has registered as a foreign agent for Qatar.
Yeah.
So this whole idea that it's just Israel is, guys, we have to be smart about it. We have to look at all the angles.
Yeah.
I understand that the Qataris would like us to point to Israel and the Israelis would like us to point to the Qataris. And I think it's really best to go, boom.
They went this way.
Let's like Qatar, Israel. You're trying to influence. How about we just cut it out?
Raise your hand if you got the Willow reference that I made there. Okay, so I built a bee shed yesterday. A little lean-to. I'm gonna do a video on it, but I'll show you the after what it looks like. I'm super excited about it because it's gonna house my all of my extra bee boxes, which is they're taking up way too much space where they are at. So here is the completed project. You can kind of see that. Well, sort of, kind of. There it is. It's had a roof and everything. So I was like tired, and I was actually really tired. I was inordinately tired. I took a nap at like 9:30 at night for like 30 minutes because I was just so exhausted. And I woke up sore. So apparently I was working harder than I thought yesterday. But anyway, Leah gives me a hard time. She says, Michelle, you always find a reason to reward yourself with a soda pop when you've done something. And I had. So Uncle Jack has a little mini refrigerator in his room for his pop, and he keeps cans of pop in there. So I went in there yesterday and I pulled a Coke out and I walked away and I said, I'm robbing you. And he goes, good, because I thought you were stealing. And I was like, right, because robbing and stealing are different. And he's like, totally, because if you steal something, you don't tell people. But if you rob, then you're saying I'm robbing you. Like you go and rob a bank, right? Like a robber, which I thought that was hilarious and awesome. And it was a really fun exchange that Uncle Jack and I had yesterday. Now, Barry says it means to take them with you. So I was right.
Oh.
Not go take a run, you silly. Do a runner, like take them and run. Like I said, we were at the mustard seed market and I'm holding this little wiener dog in my arms and my neighbor was there And I said to her, I said, Terry, what would happen if I just took off running with this little dog? Like, I was like, I could keep this little dog. It was the cutest little puppy ever. KO4 says they take office as working class people and leave office as millionaires.
So I'm not going to show you this video.
Okay.
But today or yesterday, somebody broke into St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican.
What for?
Pulled his pants down and peed on the altar. And they tried to pull him away while it's peeing.
Wait. Was there something? I feel like that didn't just happen because I saw that a while ago.
No, this just happened.
That's when somebody just posted it, but I think
this just happened.
So this was really the second time that something like that happened.
Yes.
With all this running around, something is going to crash like that. I don't know. Anyway, so hang on a second. Was there a service happening at the time? Are there people in? It looks like there's people in the congregation.
Yeah, there was like a service happening.
Okay, I want to read some comments over on Resistance Chicks Rumble, or excuse me, YouTube that I missed from earlier. Alex says, people can still be living in England and pay cash. Does that mean that the police are going to approach every single human being that's walking around? No. Pretty much every adult in England has a driver's license and some sort of identification to get welfare or a bank account or a driver's license. So what do you want to add another identification for? Very well said. Ballistic Mystic says, sometimes my dogs need my help so they can be happy with each other. I took a break from drinking years ago and I still haven't had a drink for years.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing, Ballistic Mystic. Native Michigan, I don't even know what that last word is, says, yep, I do the same thing when there's drinking. I walk away. A bottle of what spirit is the question to them? Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. So I know it's hard to do the comments delayed from the topics, but I still like to get to them. So I don't know what the dogs are like going crazy. James says, that's about the size of it. Most of them are crooks. Very well said.
Hey, everybody. Augie.
Like, it would be a way more fun show if I had a camera down at dog level and then I could occasionally just pan.
All right, so let's go into this major crypto crash, Michelle. A little bit deeper. I just tweeted out one video here. I've been having a hard time finding videos from people who aren't just like, stay calm and crypto on. Okay, let's break it down about what happened, people, man. People been wiped out. Money, $1 billion. They're thinking like $30 billion wiped out. Gone somewhere. Where did it go, honey child? I needs to know. You just don't be like, so here's the thing about physical gold and silver, right? If I have it right here, it just doesn't vanish, right?
But crypto can just vanish.
It can just vanish. And so can the stock market, right? It just vanishes.
All right. So I don't know what this picture is.
You need to just go to my Twitter.
Just go to Twitter.
Just go to the X. I hated calling X. I like it. Pick a different letter.
Okay. You want me to start with this one?
You can see Augie.
Yesterday was a historically bad day for crypto traders. There was $19 billion in liquidation over a 24-hour period. To put that into context, COVID crashed, there was $1 billion in liquidations.
Wow.
FTX crashed, $1.6 billion in liquidations.
Oh my God.
Yesterday, $19.31 billion in liquidations. Here's a look at some wallets. You will see behind me, there were multiple with over $15 million lost in a 24-hour span. Now, crypto didn't go to zero. Bitcoin, Ethereum did have a tough 24 hours, but they were only down 10-15% at max. But a lot of crypto traders trade on leverage and with meme coins and with very risky assets. This guy behind me, I have a friend that was close to $30 million net worth, almost a decade in crypto. Lost the whole $30 million yesterday in 10 minutes on cross margins. An entire decade and multiple generations he could have retired, all gone in 10 minutes. Now, trolling is common in the crypto community, but it didn't seem like it was happening yesterday. We have to take this guy's word, but he said that he lost $15 million lost. He was invested in something called Sui, and he said this industry is a scam. Goodbye forever. I'm liquidated totally. $802,000 lost. Bye-bye, Twitter. There were some very scary tweets, too. People that seemingly lost everything, all of their money, mentally, really in dark places. I have chosen not to share those, but there were a lot of those on Twitter I saw. But what's crazy is yesterday, 30 minutes before Trump's tariff announcement, an individual opened a Hyperliquid account, a place that you can short Bitcoin or long it, and closed with an $88 million profit.
Well,
The
pause
insider
that
who
real
opened
quick.
his trade
He
30 minutes.
shorted Bitcoin. He betted that Bitcoin was going to drop. That's how he made money.
Meaning there was inside information that he had.
Yeah. A lot. And he made $88 million.
Because it's not just a bet, though, because it has to be inside information. Because you could say, okay, we looked at what Trump did, and we were like, dude, this is going to be bad. Somebody might have gone, okay, this is going to be really bad for crypto, and then made it. But
if crypto had gone up, he would be out money.
Right, exactly. It has to be inside
It's
info.
a bet. It's a bet is what it is.
Before the Trump tariffs, closed his trades for $192 million in profits. And then he withdrew everything from Hyperliquid. Now, this could possibly just be good timing, but let's call a spade a spade. And of course, Jim Cramer told us to buy crypto just a few days ago. And automatic drop. The crypto trenches are dangerous, especially when you're trading on margin, cross margin, all of that. And we saw it yesterday. And if you are involved in that, please be careful. It can just go like that. Like it's the ultimate casino. And also remember, there's more to life than just numbers on a screen.
All right, so I'm going to read some of these. This week, the crypto market experienced its largest single-day liquidation event in history on October 10th. Now, remember, Michelle, what kind of season are we in right now?
Darkness, Halloween,
Rosh
wickedness.
Hashanah.
Oh,
Rosh
okay.
Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and now the Feast of Tabernacles.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay. I didn't know.
So spiritually, I will tell you that big crashes have always happened during this time.
100%.
Okay. So the temple was destroyed both times during this time.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Kahn, for all of his kind of wacko things out there, and don't mean to offend you, brother, he has this thing called the Shemitahs, right?
Yeah.
And these it's this time where crazy things happen. And the stock market crashed in 2008 during this time. And the temple was destroyed during this time. There was another stock market crash. I have to go back and remember them all. But my point being is that Michelle said to me the other day, I don't know if you remember saying it, Michelle, you were like, something's going to happen again. It's the stars have aligned. The Jewish calendar is aligned. God's calendar has aligned.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, it says that God tells us the times and seasons and the stars.
Right.
I don't mean like
a
do we have to? I feel like a joke is not funny if you have to explain it. But things have aligned. So during this time, we kind of felt like something, and it does always tend to be like financial. When it does happen. So Bitcoin dropped over 10% to below 110,000. Ethereum fell 16%. Altcoins like Solana and XPR plummeted 20 to 30%, wiping out 19 billion in leveraged positions. While most traders suffered massive losses, a few savvy for suspiciously timed short sellers cashed in big. So I have a breakdown here from Grok. So Hyperliquid Whale that was the entity that he goes by. He was Hyperliquid, means perpetual futures. His key trade deal was he shorted 1.1 billion in Bitcoin and Ethereum starting October 9th, doubled down 30 minutes before Trump's October 10th announcement, closed 90% of Bitcoin shorts and all Ethereum shorts post-crash, meaning he cashed out, and his wallet traced to a 2011 error holder with 86,000 Bitcoin history. Estimated profit, $190 to $200 million. Largest reported win, raised insider trading suspicions due to timing, withdrew most funds immediately after. Community calls for investigation, including from pro-crypto attorney John Deaton. Now, here's the thing about the crypto people. If you're a real crypto person, or if you're the crypto people, it's hold. But there are people who they want you to hold so that they can get their money out when they short it and it's going down and it's betting on it's going down.
Augie out Archie?
That's Archie, yeah. Anonymous Bitcoin short trader. He opened a massive Bitcoin short. Archie, Archie, come here, bud. He opened a massive Bitcoin short 30 minutes before the tariff announcement on October 10th. The amount created the same day closed the position amid a 19 billion liquidation wave, and he made $88 million. So these guys are looking, they're shorting, they're walking away. But here's the thing. I don't know who in the world had how, if you shorted 1.1 billion, that seems to me like that's got to be some sort of government. Because you got to put up or shut up.
People that have that kind of money. But it's not the average person.
It's not a lot of people can have $1 billion.
Yeah.
Probably can name them on a few. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna say it was communist China. I'm gonna predict nothing will happen. Nothing will come of it. No one's gonna be held responsible. Okay, Sam Bankman-Fried. Okay, he got a slap on the wrist and he went to jail, right? His parents didn't, and who knows how much they were in bed in that whole situation. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That guy's GPS is on his speaker on his motorcycle. And so everybody heard that he's making a turn at the corner where we live. That's just so funny. Okay. All right. Commercial break, because I don't want to forget this. Barry has asked me to share from Messenger. He is watching a dog too right now. And he sent me a picture of a little black lab. It's curled up in a ball, so you can hardly see it because it's black. But that's awesome, Barry, that you are watching a dog right now. You're a pet sitter now, so you might. I mean, you want a job? Do you want to come over to the United States and work for Lee and Michelle?
Okay, so 19.5 billion in liquidations, the largest single day wipeout in crypto history, 17 times bigger than COVID and 13 times bigger than FTX. That's huge. So you can see that, I mean, the last time was February 3rd, 2025, a total liquidation of 2.2 billion. 2021 was 1.2 billion, and March of 2020 was just $1 billion. Just $1 billion. Now we're at 9. Like COVID was 1 billion out. And now we've seen another, we've seen 9 billion out. This is not opening. I just have the picture open. I can't bring it up. Do I have it? This guy had a little stack of silver. He said he bought it a few years ago for 600, and silver is now now at 1,200 for a stack of silver. We're just going. It's over on the left. So you think you do have it, but I'm not sure.
No, there's a ton of them I don't have open. I can try and reopen your tabs. Let me see. I'll just reopen them.
Stop and start over again. So Robert Kiyosaki, we got to see him in person. Did we interview him? I think we did. Did we?
I feel like we did.
At the Red Pill Expo 2017. I always want to say Kiyosaki like that. I think that's Kiyosaki.
I'm sure that's the appropriate way to say it.
So he wrote a book. He always tells everybody it's his claim to fame with Donald Trump, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And a lot of guys who got into real estate like Matt have all read it. And Matt went to business school, if you guys didn't know. And so he says, reminder, I predicted the biggest crash in the world was coming in my book, Rich Dad's Prophecy. That crash will happen this year. There's not many months left of this year. So he's staking his reputation on this. Baby boom retirements are going to be wiped out. Many boomers will be homeless or living in their kid's basement. Sad. Reminder, I have been warning anyone who would listen not to save printed assets. Invest in real assets. Reminder, for years I have been saying savers are losers. Inflation turns savers' cash into trash. So basically, if you're just saving money in that's like cash, and it's not in some sort of high interest account, or it's not in gold and silver, or it's not in property.
I don't even think he means a high interest account. He's saying literally, if you're in printed assets.
You're right.
He's not talking about no. Robert Kiyosaki is rentals.
Well, he is Bitcoin. So for years, I have been saying gold, silver, Bitcoin, and recently Ethereum. What is cracking me up though is like there are voice to text on a lot of people turns Bitcoin into Buttcoin. I keep reading it because of this particular crash.
It may not be voice text, just could be autocorrect.
Yeah, it was the I near the U. It's just funny.
Oh boy.
Okay. Today, I believe silver and yttrium are the best because they are stores of value, but more importantly, used in industry, and the prices are low.
You know, silver hits 50. We did that show on Friday, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, it's too high to buy." I'm going, here's the deal. Let's just say
It goes to let's say it goes to 80.
Let's hypothesize that in a year it goes to 300. Okay, and then you're gonna look back on today and go, oh my gosh, because right now silver is undervalued. I don't know how to, I know we sound like a broken record, but I say it for those of you that are still holding on to your cash. I'm not saying it to those of you that are still struggling to buy the bread and the eggs and the milk. Okay. Those of you that are still, God takes care of us, but I do not believe that when you kind of flaunt in the face of God and say, I'm just going to stick with what I'm going to trust in man's money and man's fiat dollar, like in the face of what God is literally telling you. I'm not saying I'm the voice of God. I'm saying that right now, though, God's money is evident for all to see. I want to do a shout out again to Todd, who, let me make us big real quick, who we did a mail call on Friday.
Yeah. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to show you guys.
On the, I brought it all upstairs. That's what I'm actually getting ready. I was trying to clean up the studio because every time we do a mail call, it just looks like a giant explosion happened in the studio, because it's usually we end a show. It was like 12:30 in the morning, and I just left everything. So it was all still sitting down there. So today I wanted to show Patriot Gallery because she loves it when we get gold and silver. Well, we don't ever get gold, but when we get silver in the mail. And so I put it all in my hands like this, all of it like this. And even though it's in this plastic, okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. All of this in this plastic, just carrying it. Listen to that.
Well,
no, wait,
don't, take it. Well, there's what does that sound like? Real money.
It sounds like real money. So Todd sent us all of this. And so just carrying it upstairs.
Some of these were already tarnished, so I thought I could. I try not to touch the ones that have not been tarnished.
And so whenever you guys send us, or whenever you didn't,
it's just silver.
Whenever I order, I like to buy the silver ounces. This is my preference to purchase, is the Walking Liberty silver, because it just makes it easy, a 1 ounce coin. Whenever I buy these, when they come in this plastic, I almost immediately put them in these plastic holders like that. I have some upstairs that this is going to go in, just so that because the air tarnishes them and air gets in there like that.
So let me give you a tip. Somebody else just recently put this on Twitter. So this one, you can see it's been used, it's been touched. I love this because I think both of these are from 1944, which have a lot of nostalgia to them. You can put this in some water, like simmering water, with a piece of foil and a little baking soda. And the
foil is the sacrificial metal.
It will the black will come off of the coin.
Yeah.
And I can make a video for you and show you.
I thought you did that once. Let me have it like this.
I did, but for silver silver forks.
It sounds like Christmas bells. It sounds like.
So some people will say, Leah, Michelle, this is, the love of money. No.
It's real. It's what God created. It's getting back to organic. It's like being outside and breathing in the air and being at the ocean. It's not a love of money.
Because you can be definitely in sin and going after gold and silver.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
The love of money, which was written before paper dollars, is the root of all evil.
Yes.
Okay. What we love, interestingly enough, the love of money is the love of money is the root of all evil. But you know what God hates and what he loves? God hates unjust weights and balances.
And that's, to me, these are just weights and balances. That's why I love it. It's
so
what
they're
God
just
created. Yes.
So those are just weights and balances. That's why we love silver and gold.
Yeah.
I love silver and gold at this point in time, because they're not used, and it is a step of faith.
It is,
right? It's a step of faith to use. And what you're saying is that, God, I want to use honest money. I want just weights and balances, because if I hand you $1, tomorrow a little piece will be shaved off.
Yeah.
Okay. The value is going down. So
well,
that's
what
why
did I tell you guys? The Patriot Gallery came home and she told me she went to the coin dealer to get herself some silver coins this week. And she said, what did I tell you? Every single time I go in there, I always tell the guys, I exchange the paper dollar and get the silver coins. And she always tells them that she's like, now what I've handed you will be worth less tomorrow than what you've handed me. And then the next day, silver hit $50. So I thought that was really cool that she shared that. I'm really proud of her for going in there and saying those. It's a bold statement to make to people when you're buying, silver from them.
Yeah.
So super cool. If you guys would like, please remember resistancechicks.com/God's money. That's why we call it that. And that will put you in connection with Zhang Enterprises. So if you have any questions about pulling from your paper dollars to God's money, Zhang Enterprises is the place to go. Resistancechicks.com/God's money.
This is another reason why I really can't stand the Trump kids. I loathe Eric Trump and I loathe Don Jr. I just can't stand them. They are Scrooge McDuck. They are, in my opinion, they are so money hungry. They have been bitten by a love of money. And you can bring this up, Michelle. So see a pattern here. Eric Trump. February 25th, 2025, he tweets out, buy the dip. The result, a crypto crash. Eric Trump. A couple days later, buy the dip, a crypto crash. Eric Trump. August.
Did you just retweet this?
No, it's up. It's up there.
Okay.
It's one of them up there.
All right,
You can
I'll
close
find it.
that down. Close those two down, and it should be after that. And then Eric Trump on September 27th, buy the dips, crypto crash. And he's always tweeting out Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and so are all the Trump kids, and
Because they're making money
so much
off of it. This is not like, oh, come and join what I'm doing. They're making money off of it. Before you get to that, we went and got these before we finished my commentary on the Robert Kiyosaki thing, because that is actually a very big deal that he's calling out.
He's going to say that everything's going to crash this year. I don't know. I'm not feeling that. I'm not going to tell you that I am not feeling that right now. Like, that's not something but that is a big prediction from Robert Kiyosaki.
So I watched a clip the other day, and I wish I had saved it. I think it was from January. There was an FBI whistleblower, and I don't remember what the topic was about, but he was being I say interrogated. He was being questioned by Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And he essentially said, all I can tell you, and I think I said this on the show, but I'm just repeat it again. And it's circulating now, but it happened back in like January. But still, January is not that long ago. Mm-hmm. He said, you need to get to know 3 of your neighbors really well and have a good plan for whenever something happens. Mm-hmm. You need to start stockpiling on food. You need to have a water source. And so he's like, back in January, he's an FBI whistleblower from the FBI, and he's telling you essentially to prep, to make preparations. And he was like, he had this dead serious look on his face. So here's what I would say. I don't like to put times on dates. We're not those kind of prophetic predictor people. But I will say that the House of Cards is already crashed and been put back together, and crashed and put back together. But at some point, they're not going to be able to put it back together again.
Yeah.
And whether it happens in Donald Trump's term or it happens after his second term, it is going to happen. And so this is what I would say to everybody. While you can, do what you can while you can.
Yeah.
Okay. We still can. We've been doing this show for 7 or 8 years, and we've been telling you guys, we're getting ready to go into our 9th year. And we've always been telling you, get ready, get ready, get ready. That's not a, like, Jesus is coming back false prophecy. It's a, I don't know when, but yes.
Okay. So, absolutely. I'm with you on that. I want to pop over here to one crypto trader was found dead in his car, probably shot himself after a massive liquidation event yesterday. On the other side, a trader made $192 million profit by shorting Bitcoin 30 minutes before the crash. One life was destroyed, so another could enrich himself. He's a real man. He was in a Lamborghini, and
he was Ukrainian.
He was Ukrainian, and he was living high off of Bitcoin, and it killed him. So somebody said, Trump accidentally triggered the biggest crypto crash ever, or did they just mess around over millions of people at once? Now, this says, remember what Putin's advisor said recently, that the U.S. is plotting to erase 35 trillion in debt by moving it into the crypto cloud, then devaluing it at the world's expense.
Oh, I have to read this. Hang on. Okay, the U.S. is now trying to rewrite their rules of the gold
rules.
and
The
cryptocurrency markets.
This is from September 6th of this year.
Remember the size of their debt, 35 trillion. It's probably way more than that now. These two sectors, crypto and gold, are essentially alternatives to the traditional global currency system. Washington's actions in this area clearly highlight one of its main goals: to urgently address the declining trust in the dollar. As in the 1930s and the 1970s, the U.S. plans to solve its financial problems at the world's expense. This time by pushing everyone into the crypto cloud. Over time, once part of the U.S. national debt is placed into stablecoins, Washington will devalue that debt. Put simply, they have 35 trillion currency debt. They'll move it into the crypto cloud, devalue it, and start from scratch. That's the reality for those who are so enthusiastic about crypto. So, Leah, where do you find this stuff?
I find them on the
Where
internet.
do you find the clips like that?
I don't know. I really think that should be something that we all take stock in. I think
you need to download that and upload it like you do on our channel, because that right there, is ain't I been saying it, Ernie? Okay, I have been saying that. Leah has been saying that. This is what we have been saying about the crypto. The big plan. And here's the thing that's really disturbing. When they, quote unquote, start from scratch, they start over, everything that we have in paper dollar,
igual to nothing.
It's going to be like, well, and this is what makes me believe that this could and probably will happen during Trump's term. Okay, like, and because he's the one, I think he thinks that he can do it. I think he thinks that I think he truly believes that it has to happen, and that he's the only man on earth that can make it happen and can do it with the least amount of kerfuffle. So what's going to happen is they're going to move everything over to crypto. They will devalue that crypto and they will wipe out currency.
Yeah.
And we will just be in a digital age. So your paper dollar, if you don't make the switch, if you don't do the thing, guys, I mean, this is absolutely insane. Imagine not being able to buy and sell with paper anymore. Imagine it just goes. And here's the thing. Everybody's like, Michelle and Leah, you guys are just so hard on Donald Trump. Can you look me in the eye? Yes, that's a camera. Can you look me in the eye? Those of you that would say that to me. And say with all honesty, whoa, hang on, what's going on? She's stuck in this. I'm going to have to unplug you. With all honesty, that Donald Trump would have any problem. I unplugged it because she's all caught up in it. Would have any problem with switching us over to a digital currency and just saying, deal with it. Deal with it. Like, and what does that then make him, though? That makes him an authoritarian, because we would not have voted on it. We would not have passed legislation. Just with a stroke of a pen, with an executive order, Donald Trump could switch us from a paper currency to a digital currency. And he could say, your dollars mean nothing. If you find, we had a distant family member that lived next door, that when she passed away and they went through all of her stuff, they ended up, and raise your hand if this has happened to you, when you've had a loved one that died. Because this people that went through the Depression used to do this. They found like $10,000 worth of cash by going through her room, but they would find it in like 20, a little like 620s here and 720s here. And it just added up that she had these like little bundles of cash stashed throughout her entire room. So what would happen if Donald Trump switches us over to a digital currency, that when your loved one dies and you find all those bundles of cash and you feel rich and they're just Confederate dollars to you now.
Well,
They don't hold any value whatsoever.
Crypto, trying to get everybody into crypto.
And then you know why they do it? They do it because they're trying to absolve their consciences, meaning, well, we told you, right? We told you to prepare. We told you. And those of you that didn't listen to us, well, then, you know, and I know that they feel that way because I kind of feel that way about people that have invested in crypto and then lose money. But I didn't actually, but here's the thing. I don't have a right to say that because I have not looked every crypto purchaser in the eye and had a chance to preach the gospel to them. You know what I mean? And so they have not had the chance to look every American in the eye and say, listen, we are going to pull the plug on the paper dollar. You need to move. Because if they did, then people would actually have informed consent. We don't have informed consent. They are going to pull the rug out from underneath of us and they are going to just laugh themselves all the way to the bank and hold their hands up and say, well, we told them. Not everybody's on Twitter. They're not looking at your daggum tweets, Eric Trump. Nobody cares. Nobody is listening to you. You are not giving people informed consent before you pull the paper dollar rug out from underneath of everybody.
Yeah, I don't really know what you do with these things, these meme coins, honestly. I do know that Trump has a meme coin that as of today, it was down a few dollars and it was trading at like $6. It fell 25%. Interestingly enough, the project's backers, led by Trump ally Bill Zanker via Fight LLC, announced plans to raise $200 million to $1 billion for buybacks to stabilize the price. That's crazy, but this hasn't reversed the slide yet. So I'm not a happy fan of Trump's meme coin.
TM says, Doge just doing his loving work. Todd, which there you are, Todd sent us the silver coin. Hi, Todd. Says, I believe he wants the transition to digital to be his legacy. I think that you could be right. Loretta says, that's terrifying. How on earth will those of us not on board with crypto manage? I will tell you. Would you like to know my very Lynette Zhang prediction for that, Loretta? Government handouts. You will then... Now, God is going to, I believe that those of us that are in Christ, God is going to lead us in ways to protect us. Okay. So I don't want this to put anybody in fear. Okay. But I think that this is how they will ensnare you and entrap you, because they'll say, well, but listen, for those of you that do not have crypto and we pulled this rug out from underneath of you, you're going to get UBI. What is UBI, Leah?
Universal basic income.
Every month you get a check. Well, okay, that's not too far from Social Security, is it? Well, Social Security is built on at least the mirage that you paid into it, and you are now receiving an insurance type payout. I paid into something and then I get it back, right? Universal basic income is them literally inventing money from nothing, from nowhere. But let me tell you where they pull it from. They pull it from the pockets of everybody else through inflation. And then they hand it out to everybody. So then you will be tied to, and I hate to use this phrase, but I will use it this one time, the government teat. You have to always go to them for your food, for your housing, for your car insurance, for your cell phone. And they want you tied to them. So I believe that God is going to protect us. God is going to do something. But at the same time, we would be very remiss in being the resistance chicks if we did not tell you that this is coming. So what do? You start preparing spiritually. We're giving you the answers for preparing physically, but it's way, way, way more important to be close to God, to be reading your Bible, to be hearing his voice so that you listen to him. Everybody's like, oh, insider trading. Let me tell you what the best insider trading is. The Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit will tell you what to do before something terrible happens. Case in point, this is hilarious. And then I'm going to toss the show back to Leah. Right before COVID hit,
Archie.
Matt came home with, I don't know how many boxes of commercial toilet paper, like the big rolls.
If you've been to our house, you're like, what?
So, and then not only did he come home with this bajillion boxes of these.
From floor to ceiling, we had boxes and boxes and boxes.
And there was actually the containers, like the double-sided. So in our bathroom, if you've ever been to our house, we have mounted to the wall a
industrial
2-roll holding toilet paper thing. Now, so leading up to COVID, we had all this toilet paper when there was the toilet paper shortage. And I felt like
a queen.
We were rich.
Super rich.
I'll be like,
we're never going to
come and get some of what I got. I got a TP. You know what I'm saying? So that was just before COVID, end of 2019. We are at the end of 2025.
We have not bought toilet paper for.
We have not bought toilet paper for 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years.
Until just this week, I went to Amazon, and what did I do? I didn't go. I'm not going back because it is a way better deal. I bought a 12-pack. It was $58 of these gigantic coreless, meaning they don't have a cord. It's just toilet paper from edge to center. It rolls of toilet paper, so we can continue using that as our toilet paper. So we're good to go, I think, for another several months. I don't even know how long one of those boxes of 12 rolls lasts us, but I'm going to keep buying those. But my point is, the Holy Spirit took care of us. Everybody else is on a toilet paper craze, which I'm totally willing to use cloth and wash it. I've watched the prepping videos on how to do that. The brown is not, I'm not so sure about that, but the number one's for sure. Okay. So I'm just saying, if you listen to the Holy Spirit, he will lead you and guide you in all of these little areas to take care of you.
Amen. No, that's a good word, Michelle. Thank you for encouraging people there.
So KO4 says, I am starting to think Trump is working for the globalists, not liking any of this. And you know, that is what it looks like. Barry says, you'll own nothing and be happy. Chris says he does not care about the poor people. He is too busy setting up the technocracy prison. It's depressing and also very true. Let me go over to YouTube and then we'll toss the show back to Leah. Gina says, tell me like I'm a 5-year-old if we have gold in Fort Knox. If we think we do, where is the proof? I thought that was supposed to be shown by Trump. Was it ever seen? She says, what happens to savings in the bank? Exactly. And then she says, that makes him worse than the behind hat that he already is. We do not use that word. You're welcome to use it. I don't. So I said it a little bit different, Gina. But no, I don't think there's any gold in Fort Knox. We have driven past it. It is not protected. We videotaped it. We're like, nope, there's nothing in there. There is. They don't even care. It's derelict. It looks overgrown. It literally looks like white trash motel.
Oh, yeah.
And it's surrounded by white trash motel, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, Michelle, I just tweeted this out because I didn't have it up, but Glenn Beck was addressing this week the digital ID in the UK. So let's bring that up right now and let's switch from the digital currency to the digital ID that they have a problem. The UK has sacrificed themselves. I thought the UK was sacrificing themselves as like kind of the first Western country, I guess. I guess India already has digital ID, like the whole country. And so Keir Starmer was over in India.
So China for sure has
has digital ID.
Right.
Yeah. And India now has a digital ID. And so we have to convince the civilized nations to now accept it.
But do you have the Whitney Webb?
I do, but that is an older clip, but we are going to play it.
Okay.
In Europe, see if you can relate to this at all. They have a problem in England with people coming across, the water and just invading the country. And then they're taking all the jobs from, decent Brits. And they haven't stopped them. They're welcoming them in. They're not turning them away. They're not sending them back home or anything. But to solve the problem instead, they're just going to have everybody have a digital identity.
This is so rude of me. No, I'm not going to do it. Keep going.
That way, you'll know if they're a British citizen or not. Okay. There's an easier way to solve this. I don't know. You just stop the illegal immigration. You would send people back. You do that. You do that. No. Now, I want you to understand, and I don't know if I have time to get into this today, but this is the way progressivism works. They create the idea, and then they cause the problem that they can go back and say, we need to do this to solve this problem. Okay? So they've caused the problem of illegal immigration. They've caused the problem of all of these things happening on their streets. But don't worry, they've already designed the answer, and it's digital identity.
That one up.
Now, this is was just voted in Switzerland, and Australia already has it. Okay, so let me just give you an idea of digital identity. This is from the World Economic Forum.
I do.
This is how they are describing what digital identity will do, okay? It will give the users access. Now just think, what's left in your life? It will give you access to insurance, to healthcare treatment, to monitor your health devices. It will monitor your wearables, and it will be for care providers to demonstrate their qualifications. So you can look up, you can't do this now. I can't look up a doctor online and see if he's any good. No. I need digital ID to do that. But it'll also track all of my wearables and monitor all my health care and have access to my insurance and everything the doctors are doing for me. That's great. And all of that data goes right into a centralized data bank for the government. Now, what else does digital ID do? Well, financial services. You'll need digital ID to open bank accounts, carry out online financial transactions. Food and sustainability. For farmers and consumers, you can verify where the produce is coming from to enhance the value and traceability in supply chains. For travel and mobility, your digital ID will help you book trips. It will help you go through the border control between countries and regions. On humanitarian response, it will give you the access to services to demonstrate qualifications to work in a foreign country. E-commerce, you'll need your digital ID to be able to shop, to conduct business transactions, and have access to secure payments. On social platforms, your new digital identity will protect you for your social interactions, to access third-party services that rely on social media logins. Your e-government, that will allow you as a citizen to access and use services, to file taxes, to vote, and to collect benefits. With your telecommunications, it will help you, the user of digital ID, to own and use devices for service providers to monitor those devices and data on the network. And telecommunications also to monitor devices and sensors transmitting such data as energy usage, air quality, traffic congestion, all of those things. So you can see how helpful it's going to be. It will be in every aspect of your life. Now, the only thing that this leaves out is a digital currency.
Those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches without the crust that they sell.
But digital ID lays all the framework. So then the government can say we have a digital ID, and it fits right in with your digital identity. And that's just going to track everything you spend every dime on. But because you have digital identity, it will also help you, spend your money, where you can spend it, where you can't spend it. It will have complete control and oversight of your entire life.
So Keir Starmer is doing his best to try to appeal to the far right, the alt-right, and be like, listen, you don't want these bad guys coming over and taking jobs, and we just can't confirm their ID. No, these people are coming over on boats and dinghies. Those are the people that they're really worried about. They're really not worried, honestly, about the Romanians coming over or something like that. But yeah, kind of a little bit. That's part of the problem. But it's the people coming over on the dinghies. The people who are coming over truly not even in from Europe. And in that case, you're just letting them in with no ID whatsoever. So what do you mean you're going to be able to track people and stop people from taking jobs with like digital ID? Like that is such a made up thing. Stop making things up.
Glenn's like, dude, there's a way to do this. You just stop them from coming over.
It's so made up. It's so
that's like that's like saying that we're going to appease the right in America by saying, well, listen, we just have to be able to monitor the migrants with digital ID.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't want them coming. Did you retweet something?
No, okay. YouTube, GB News. They think people are thick. That's what they call, people being dense over there in the UK. So we have some commentators over here from GB News here.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Jubes & Co. with me, Michelle Dewberry, Kelvin McKenzie and Aaron Bastani. Well, we were just talking about Tony Blair. And, of course, when I think of Tony Blair, one of the things I think about is digital ID. Our Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, reckons, of course, that we're going to have this thing mandatory because he wants to clamp down on illegal migration. If you believe that, you believe anything, quite frankly. Anyway, he was speaking out about this. This was in response to a question put to him by GB News. Take a listen.
Here in India, I think it's 1 billion people have digital ID. It's been taken up on a voluntary basis in huge numbers, not least because it means that you can access your own money, make payments so much more easily than is available with others. So I think now we need to go out and make that case of the huge benefits that this will bring.
People in the UK having trouble accessing.
Kelvin, what do you think? I mean, I'm half laughing. One of the reasons I'm laughing, I can't lie, is because of a message that Matthew, one of my viewers, has just sent in response to that. It's a very serious topic, so I shouldn't laugh. But in response to that Gaza situation, Matthew's just got in touch and said, Sir Keir Starmer will be really pleased about this peace deal because the sausages will be freed. So I was just looking at that comment as I came to you, because do you remember that unfortunate misslip that Keir Starmer said? Anyway, back to digital ID. Go on.
So what was quite clear is that when he said that this will help stop illegal migration, everybody piled in and said, no, it won't. The illegals don't have any form of ID.
But did you believe that? You didn't believe that,
No, I didn't, but everybody piled in. And actually, the Labour Party, as far as I understand it, the Parliamentary Labour Party are actually saying we wouldn't vote it through either. So now it's been changed to, effectively, it'll be a government number, which you can then put in when you apply to schools, and it'll save a lot of paperwork, or your doctors, or any state organisation, and then hopefully any private organisation. Honestly, we don't need it for that reason. If that's the reason, which has now become, oh, you're not going to accept it stops migration. Oh, well, by the way, I buy that now. Actually, how about if you have to have this number in order to operate your life? And I would have thought there was less reason for that than for the migration. And therefore, it sounds to me as though the same thing that happened under the Blair years, where it disappeared at the end, this will also disappear at the end. So it won't happen, and it will get to 2028, and there'll be more urgent things to go through Parliament, and that will be the end of that.
Have you had a random call lately from a strange number? Maybe.
Okay. We just need to go forward just a little bit. Keep going. Keep going.
Hang on. I'm gonna find it. Wait a minute. That's a big giant ad.
Which and by the way, did you get that point that he made in his address there to the GB News guy, saying that actually it's voluntary? I didn't realise that.
No, he was on. No. He was on about. So he's in India. So what he's talking about there is he's saying that there's about 1 billion people in India that have basically taken this up voluntarily. Yeah.
Correct.
Here, the impression is that it will be mandatory. I think that is so disgraceful. Yeah. How dare you? Because this was not in their manifesto, by the way, to make this mandatory for people. I think it is so disgusting. If you're down with digital ID and you want to do that, fill your boots. But most people, I saw a comment the other day, more in common was the poll, 31% of people, they said, were still in favour of mandatory digital ID. Aaron Bastani, your thoughts?
Yes, I think there was a plurality, or a slim majority was in favour until about 3 or 4 months ago. And then you put the meat on the bone. You hear about Tony Blair being involved, and you hear about how deep it goes, and was actually, no thanks, Gov. In theory, I can see an ID card working, right? Benefit fraud, ID theft, convenience. It's crazy you have to walk around with a water bill to, get credit for a new car or whatever. I get that. But that's not what we're talking about. You're right, by the way, about the illegal migration stuff. It's not going to make the slightest difference on that. But it will have other use cases.
But why would they start off with that as their main argument?
Because they know that people are so frustrated with illegal migration
but if they knew
that they might go for
that
it.
was not an argument which could sustain beyond 12 hours, why bother?
Well, this is the thing. They do think people are thick. Because I saw somebody making the case for ID cards. It was Darren Jones.
Yeah.
He looks like an accountant.
Darren Jones.
He looks like an accountant.
The fellow that turned around and wanted people to think that the majority of people on those not so small boats were women and children. That Darren Jones.
Yeah. The same chap.
Yeah, exactly.
But he looks like an accountant, and there are lots of people. Some people want ID cards. Lots of people don't. Increasing numbers of people don't. They don't look at somebody like Darren Jones telling them what to think. as an authority figure. That's not going to persuade them. And I think it really shows how out of touch this government is, that not only they're wrong on the policy, but also how they can persuade people about the wisdom of the policy. To go back to the actual idea, though, I could support it in theory.
Okay.
When you hear what Larry Ellison says about ID cards,
you're right, Michelle.
how you could...
I do have Whitney Webb from this week. It's after that Zero Hedge, so it should be this one. Yeah, so she was on Glenn Beck talking about this, and she did mention Keir Starmer and you guys in the UK. So we're all talking about, oh, not that one. That's an older one. You can close her down. We won't do that one. I don't think we'll do that. This is the one from this week. Yeah.
Number is what do you think the number is that's actually knows what they're doing and is doing it?
At most, I would say it's probably a couple hundred.
And that
it's
nuts?
Probably smaller than that. But, well, you know, especially with the technology they have today, it's never been easier for the few to control the many. And they want to make it so that, you know, the peasants, the serfs can't, you know, fight against their rule anymore. And again, that's why we have to resist this as much as possible. But I unfortunately think that to try and get us to consent, because again, they need our consent, they will throw the kitchen sink at us to try and get us to consent. They could make life very difficult. They could, I mean, you know, use acts of terror like they did in something like Operation Gladio to make people so afraid for their lives that they will give up all of their liberties.
They did. This is what the communists did.
Safer.
This is what the communists did to take over. I think it was Hungary. You know, the NATO thing was we'll have peace, but you can't go in unless invited. You can't turn any countries into Russian satellite countries unless invited in. And so they just went in and they did pretty much what's happening now, you know, and built the framework for it to fall in and then cause chaos in the streets. They had tanks parked right on the border. And when the chaos got to a certain level, their people inside the government of Hungary said, we need help. And Russia rolled across and they were a communist country overnight. I mean, it's not a hard thing to figure out. They do it over and over again.
But I would argue, too, that this is bigger than just national governments. This is... people,
human.
I don't know what to call them, but oligarchs. Again, it's a small number of people, and they have their men, as it were, in every government everywhere.
So that is not the clip. It's still a really good one that I wanted Leah to play. And it's not really a clip. You guys can go and watch the entire interview that Glenn just did with Whitney Webb on Glenn Beck's page. But essentially, and forgive me for just kind of paraphrasing what I was listening to her convey to Glenn last night, was that one of the ways that they're going to convince the public to go along with this is by giving them the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
And in giving you the illusion of choice, they will make these quote unquote, they will make you believe, just like Bitcoin and just like Ethereum and just all of these digital currencies, that you have a decentralized digital ID, meaning these companies are going to pop up like Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. What are some of the other ones? Like these different companies that give you the illusion of choice. And so different digital IDs, it's like, oh, I'm going to shop for my, you know, Leah you all heard her rant from the Verizon store. I'm going to get the Samsung S25. I'm going to get the Google Pixel. I'm going to get the iPhone. I'm going to get, you know, whatever. They're going to let you have a choice. You have to choose which digital ID that you're going to go with, but you still have to have it. And but they will tell you that it's okay because it's all decentralized, because you're the one that's choosing the company that you want to go with, and whether you trust them to keep your information secure. Like this is what they're going to do. And so I really appreciated her referencing Keir Starmer, because she's like, listen, he's come out and he has given this option of a digital ID, meaning it's what we say and you've got to take it. She said, I believe that, you know, she quoted some Twitter person saying this, or podcaster had thrown out the idea is what Keir Starmer is proposing a bait and switch, so that they can then roll out the option, like I mentioned with the iPhone and the Android and the Google phone. Like they will say, okay, well, we won't take your version of the digital ID because that seems too authoritarianism, authoritarianistic.
Yeah.
So they will give you a decentralized digital currency. Well, okay, we're going to throw digital ID into the open market. We're going to let people come up with their own companies, and then they can, and maybe there will be hundreds of digital ID companies that you can choose from, and there'll be apps on your phone that you can choose your digital ID company.
Yeah.
And that will be one of the ways that they will convince you to go along with it. And when she said that last night, when I heard her say that, everything in me went, oh.
Well, they have to have a brand ambassador, and I was gonna play this Dollar Vigilante video, but I may come back to it. But I actually want you to click on the next tweet I have up, and I want you to scroll down. You can close her out. I think, is this the Dollar Vigilante I have next? Nope, skip. Yeah. So I actually want you to scroll down here and play this video from this guy about Eric and the guy that he has doing he's doing crypto with. Okay. It just
is Steve Witkoff.
Steve Witkoff.
This dude is Eric Trump. Wait, I think that's an old picture. Yes, this is Eric Trump now. Eric and Zaki are business partners in a crypto business. This one, World Liberty Financial. The Trump family owns 60% of this business and gets 75% of the net revenue from the business. This is Eric and Zach on stage in Dubai yesterday, where it was announced that the UAE's ruling family will use $2 billion of Trump family crypto to invest in another crypto company, Binance, which incidentally recently paid a $4.3 billion fine for violating money laundering laws, but that's another story. Now, it's speculated that the Trump family is likely to make, get this, $75 million from this deal yesterday while doing virtually nothing. And if the UAE's rulers wanted to invest in Binance, they could have done so with cash and didn't have to pay the Trump family all of that money. But wait, that's not the end of the story. This is Zach's daddy, Steve Witkoff, who is Donald Trump's friend and just coincidentally happens to be America's special envoy to the Middle East. So the fathers of these two knuckleheads are making U.S. policy with the Middle East. And here's another picture of Steve Witkoff with, guess who? Jared Kushner from season 1 of the Trump debacle. And Jared coincidentally got $3 billion from Arab countries just 6 months after he left the White House. And speaking of the Trump family making money, there's Eric again in the Middle East. They're likely to make a ton of money from this deal with a Qatar-backed government firm, incidentally. And all of this is great timing, since in 2 weeks, the Donald himself is going to visit Qatar and the UAE and Saudi Arabia, where, incidentally, the Trump family has 2 new projects in the works. So in conclusion, maybe it's impossible to drain the swamp when you're doing so much business in the desert.
That was good. That was really good. Oh my gosh. Wow. I could not agree more. And you all know how I feel about it, but oh my.
Yes.
Let me go over here to some comments. On Rumble, Barry says, Estonia has digital ID too. He says nearly 3 million people have signed the digital ID petition now against digital ID. Starmer has hatched a plan with Blair, and the Blair Institute will, which actually has the American Larry Ellison as the key instigator to try to get as much data as he can on everyone, and is pushing for digital ID in the UK. Larry Ellison, the American billionaire. So the US, it is coming your way too, over my I'm not going to die body. Gina says, I am not getting a real ID. I will not be participating. She says, let alone a digital ID. She says, the toilet paper is awful rough, isn't it? No, here's the thing. I'm going to go back to the toilet paper because this is real news. It's way better on our septic system and doesn't clog the septic system. I I guess maybe because because of the septic system.
It's mostly because of the septic system.
Well, now we grew up on Charmin,
double,
like the double,
ply.
triple, quadruple, whatever.
But in apartments, and things just flow.
Yeah, but even when we moved in here with Grandma,
and
I was so against the thin toilet paper, the Scott toilet paper,
until
our friend had it, and she would every time we went over to her house. I mean, it's like this. I came off of Coca-Cola and went to water. If I can do that, you can come off of Charmin double, triple ply and go to these.
I use it because of because we have a septic and it has to be pumped once or twice a year.
Yeah, and not just the septic though, even just getting clogged.
It gets clogged in our pipes.
It's like big giant things of cotton.
Yep,
shoving it down. So I'm saying I have reached the place where I no longer want to use the thick stuff. I don't want the soft stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need the soft stuff. I really like the thin stuff, and I like that it lasts for literally
I
ever.
don't know how to take that and jump into this, but let's go to Ireland, where here's some good news. The Irish government has informed the EU that they will not comply with a demand to force hate speech laws on the public. So this is a hugely significant moment for free speech. It's a couple over. Keep going. Probably around there somewhere.
Okay. Nope.
It's O'Keefe. Mike O'Keefe. There he is. Mick.
Our intention to reintroduce the hate speech legislation that was a dramatic failure in the last government and proposed by the previous Minister for Justice?
The answer is no. But can I just give you an overview as to why the answer is no? I'm fairly satisfied that Ireland has transposed the European Council framework decision on combating certain forms and expressions of racism and xenophobia in a manner appropriate and tailored to the domestic system of law in Ireland. I want to assure members of the House that Ireland's position has been communicated to the European Commission, and our position is that the framework decision is fully transposed in Irish legislation in a manner that is appropriate and tailored to Ireland's domestic system of criminal law and procedure, and is in line, of course, with Article 40.6 of the Constitution, which expressly respects and protects the rights to freedom of expression and people to express their views freely.
All right, so there's some good stuff happening in Ireland. Meanwhile, in Ireland, if you go over to the B. Gates ISIS psycho, this happened this week in the Irish capital. So this happened on Friday.
Okay, so we have
these are not Irish people.
Are these migrants? Oh, geez. They just pushed somebody down. Oh my gosh. So hang on. What exactly is happening here? That's the scene that we just saw, I think.
They are supporters of German football club in town for a friendly against the Bohemians. They were Germans. So I guess there's a large immigrant population, which may explain why a lot of these chaps do not seem to be ethnically German. Interesting.
Irish, you mean?
German. This was from Germany. Or this was from Ireland. They were in town.
So we had a bunch of people come to Ireland from Germany
for a soccer game.
Mm-hmm. So this is not as terrible as it looks.
Those are soccer hooligans from Germany, supporters of a football club.
Okay, very interesting.
Somebody says an old video. I hate when there's old videos. Oh well, happens every once in a while. I get pulled in. I gotta tell you.
That's all right.
Let's see, but I do have this one. This was a large group of Muslims were holding prayer. Well, that was in Dallas, Texas. But I'm going to play this one because I think this is a good idea of what to do when you do see them pray. This guy is in Texas, and he starts to say the Lord's Prayer over a loudspeaker.
Oh, that's awesome.
Over a handheld speaker.
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from Islam. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
Oh my gosh. I guess it says official street preachers.
That was pretty bold, I have to say.
Oh my gosh.
That was pretty bold.
Good job. Good on that dude, man.
So this was a headline, if I'm going right over to the left, from the Daily Mail this week. Rochdale grooming gang cannot be deported because Pakistan refuses to take them. So that would be a problem. Also, the UK government breaking outlaws free drink refill promotions for Coke and other sugary beverages. You can't get free refills.
Wait a minute. What?
I know. That's what it says.
Hang on. They outlaw free drink refill promotions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have a thought on this. I remember about
October 1st of this year.
So this just happened.
The UK government has implemented new regulations under the high fat, salt, and sugar. They have an acronym for it. The HFSSS.
High fat, salt, and sugar.
Laws that prohibit free refills on sugar-sweetened beverages in restaurants, cafes, and other businesses.
Okay, so I have a couple of thoughts on this.
You can't just go in.
About 15 years ago, somebody was in our driveway. I think it might have been Roy.
Oh my gosh.
And I think, but I don't want to put this on the wrong person. But they actually were not opposed to government regulations on what we can and cannot eat and drink.
You can get a diet version, though.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm dead serious. Hang on. That can't be real.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, it is time for Michelle's rant on how terrible diet sodas are for you. They are worse for you. They are worse for you. Repeat after me. Diet sodas are worse for me than regular soda. So the fact that so Michelle's conspiracy theory radar is going, wah, wah, wah. They are trying to kill you. They are trying to get you to drink the diet sodas just so you can get your free refill, so you'll die sooner and quicker and get sicker. This is so bad. Like, diet sodas cause cancer. Literally diet sodas cause cancer. And for all of my diet soda drinkers out there that you are addicted, please do not receive this with fear, because you can't get set free from diet soda. But if at all you can try to switch to regular soda, please. I'm begging you. And then you can totally start to switch from regular sodas.
But if you like fizzies, sparkling water is
great. It is. It's so the fact that they are saying that you can get diet sodas as refills proves that they are trying to kill us all. But I don't think that this just applies to like the refill fountains. It said restaurants, meaning if you go to a sit down restaurant, they charge you like $4 for like a Coke because they're gonna keep refilling it the whole time. Not anymore. So now you're gonna get like 2 ice cubes.
Yeah,
because that's all the soda you're gonna get.
So I want to play this vacation advert for El Salvador because they are marking again. They keep talking about their low homicide rate. And I would say, instead of going to Mexico, I would recommend that you go to El Salvador. That's where I would go.
If I could vacation anywhere in the world right now, outside of the U.S., I would love to go to El Salvador. That would be my choice.
That'd be fun. I'd like to visit Bukele there.
El Salvador is the new Mexico. No, I'm dead serious. With how dangerous Mexico has gotten lately, there's a lot of people asking where to go to next. But I know of a place with no more gangs, a place safer than most countries and nearly free of violence, a place where the gorgeous beaches are untouched with dark volcanic ash sand and some of the best surf waves in the world, with cold water springs all over the country and one of the best presidents in the world. Forget going to Mexico. El Salvador is where it's at now.
I love that so much. Donna says, years ago, my friend went blind on a plane flight from too many diet sodas. Her vision did come back later. Wow, praise God. Barry says, Michelle, the UK doesn't do free refills anyway. This is just a rubbish headline. Unlike the USA, our restaurants do not and never will do free refills. That's very interesting. That's all we do over here, practically. It's weird to go to a place that does not have free refills. Am I right?
Yes, that it actually is weird.
That's very helpful.
All right, this is somebody's the moment.
Is this right next to it?
Yeah, the moment the El Salvador president found out gangs were trying to reorganize, he deployed 1,500 soldiers to find them. We will not allow them to reorganize. The safest country and the continent will be respected.
Oh my gosh. So for the podcast listeners, you're just seeing troop after troop after troop with like in the rain with like epic filmography. You know though, this is just a photo op. They're making them stand.
Oh,
in the
I know.
rain
I know.
For a photo op.
Yeah.
Which I find is a little bit, I don't know.
A little cheesy. It's a little cheesy, man.
But here's the thing though, like these guys are legit. Because they were in the beginning, now they're not, but like they were going up against like the strongest, most ruthless gang members in the world. So these police have to be like, the real deal.
So I don't know how true this is, but you can close out a couple more and then go to this one from Derek Evans. This is tens of thousands of people in China are homeless because their social credit scores are too low. Like they can't get an apartment.
You can find it because I'm not finding it. Oh, you closed that out. That was Bukele.
Well, yeah, we'll come. We're going to
come back to it because you closed it.
It's okay. We don't need to come back. We don't need that one.
That was another Bukele.
There we go.
Okay, so what is this now?
Tens of thousands of people in China are homeless.
Oh,
because of the digital ID
makes
it so that they cannot get a home.
But because the system,
hang on, I'm gonna turn this up.
They didn't go broke. They got deleted.
So they
In
unperson
China,
you.
tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money, but because the system erased them.
Imagine a society where everything you do, everything you say,
just tracked,
and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people and create a system of punishment that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system decides who's trustworthy. But if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working, you can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally. Many are now sleeping in the streets, cut off from everything. Jobs, housing, even communication. All because one app, one algorithm decided they don't belong.
It's not science fiction. In China, it's a reality. Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
They're not criminals.
Wow.
They didn't steal, cheat, or harm anyone. They just fell too low on a score and vanished from the digital world. Critics say it's a glimpse into the future, where technology doesn't just track your life, it controls it. So ask yourself, if your entire life depended on your digital reputation, how long before you get deleted? They didn't go broke.
So what is so terrifying about this, and Chris says it's worse than 1984 already, is that, you guys watch us, and I'm so grateful that you still found us. Just somebody found Leah on the, new Twitter. And
Glad you're back on Twitter.
Glad you're back on Twitter. And Leah's like, well, yeah, we're back. But like my old account is not back. With the digital ID, you're not going to be able to just get a new identity. You're not going to be able to get a new Twitter. You're not going to be able to get a new YouTube. You're not going to be able to, that's not.
I've already experienced being unpersoned several times. If that's like, if I'm in China, that's like a real deal, then like,
it's
that's real
terrifying.
Deal, right? Yeah.
It's because if they can unperson you like this, the way that they have taken something that we built online and unperson us, I mean, they can certainly do it to you. And you know what I think about? We grew up with a handful of movies that we would watch multiple times. One of those, I remember going to Blockbuster, and when my mom would have us, we would rent it. We'd want to watch it again. We'd pick it again. Leah, do you know which movie I'm going to say?
I don't know. We did a lot. We watched a
In
lot.
the theme of this, Sandra Bullock.
Oh, yeah.
In The Net.
Mm-hmm.
She was working from home.
Yeah.
And
somebody stole her
computers.
yeah.
And it was a conspiracy.
And she wasn't like, she didn't have a lot of friends.
So she didn't have anybody
to go
to vouch for her.
Right.
And she was unpersoned.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tried to kill her, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always gone back to look at that movie. Is it predictive programming?
Mm-hmm.
Are they preparing us for a day?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that they probably already do it to people in real life. You just don't know about it. I think that the FBI and the CIA do it to people somewhat frequently.
Mm-hmm.
They just take you off the playing field. You are no longer a person. They can just introduce your gap with something else, and you never existed. So if they can do it to us digitally like they have, how much can they do it to you even in person?
Yeah, there is a trend that I find highly disturbing amongst the right, in which China is posting like giant feats of architectural wonders, like the largest bridge in the world, or this one is a train station that cost China $7.8 to build, and people like Harrison Smith from InfoWars says, and this is like a theme that I keep seeing. America could have built 4 of these over the last 2 years for under $32 billion, but we decided to send that money to Israel so that they could kill a bunch of civilians. So people are trying to make correlations to China's amazing architectural and like supposedly state-of-the-art buildings and things like that. I'm not a fan of this new world, new age, space age type architecture and giant things anyways. And here's the thing, Harrison Smith, I love you. I wouldn't want our US government to build a train station like this anyways. Like I don't want my money going to train stations. I don't. That's not what we do with tax money. Okay? A private company would like to make a train station, you make a train station. But I feel like too many people are getting sucked in. You can stop that now.
I can't stop looking at it.
I know,
It's
okay.
so mesmerizing.
I feel like too many people are being sucked into this. Well, what else could we do with the money we sent here? Whereas that money just needs to go, that's either debt money or it's somebody's taxes. So that should be used for defense and defense only.
Yeah.
Right?
So Sherry says, we'll have to create an alternative society. Yes. And she says, I wonder if any of these actors in those movies even realize what they're doing. And Chris says a lot of movies are programming schemes. The ones that are huge have likely been through satanic rituals, the actors. Yeah.
So do you have any flip phones in your house? Maybe it might be a good thing. Everything we do is tracked. Everything we do. So we did on our show on Friday. We talked about how Scotland was where golf was originated and it had grass. Okay.
This is so creepy.
And I was talking about that because the Trump name is being put on a golf course in a desert, and how silly that is. So Michelle's like, let's sit down and, every once in a while we'll try to find something cheesy on Amazon Prime. And your first recommended video was how golf originated in Scotland.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I literally said, Leah, come. And she was so tired and she didn't want to. I said, come in here. And she's like, what? And I was like, look at this top recommended movie. The very first thing, it was really depressing, actually. It's the original guy in golf, Tommy something or other. And I'm going to give you the punchline. He dies young.
It was beautiful.
It was
scenery,
a beautiful movie, but like
it's
based on a real story. And his new wife dies in childbirth, and he was golfing with his dad, and his dad didn't, give him the telegram in time. So he didn't get to even say goodbye to his wife, and all over a golf match. So anyway, but I couldn't believe that, I'm like, hang on, there's used to, what I miss from my childhood? Coincidences. No, I'm dead serious. Like, I miss being like, oh, wow, isn't that a coincidence? There's no such thing as coincidences, and it's not what you think.
So I say all of that.
That is not a coincidence that has happened. They were listening to our show.
So I want to play this video on, we probably need to go back to basic phones.
He's got a bloody good point. Check this lad out.
Digital IDs are way worse and way more dangerous than you could imagine. I am a software developer, okay, and I'm going to give you some software reasons why this is so much more dangerous than the things you already know, okay? Please, please, please watch this the whole way through. Share, like, comment, share it with everyone. Everyone needs to know this because they need to know what they are opposing, okay? The first thing I want to say is to everyone saying it's only used for right to work, go on the World Economic Forum's website where they've got the digital ID up and it's like a picture with like 10 things around it about what they're going to use it for, okay? So first off, that reason's out. Here's the technical reasons of why it's so dangerous. Now, we already know about social credit score, we already know about carbon footprint, all these things that it could be, okay? But here's two technical things that are going on with the digital ID that you need to know, okay? Apple's safety and privacy on their phones has been one of their main selling points, and they've never laid down to any government when they've asked for access. Even when the police would arrest someone with an iPhone, they would struggle to break in because of Apple's advanced security features. That's the official name, okay? End-to-end encryption. Are you following, okay? The UK have now somehow made it that in the last couple of weeks that Apple have now to disable that on all UK phones. So if you have a phone in the UK and it's an iPhone, you will notice in your privacy settings that you will not have the ability to turn that feature on anymore. You won't even have the feature, okay? Because the government have now made them turn it off, right? The reasons so that they can have access to what they deem as a national threat, okay? Whatever that means. The second thing, right? There's a thing right now called chat control, which a lot of people are fighting against right now, okay? Chat control is basically where there's like an AI or an LLM based on your device, a piece of software, right, that tracks every stroke of your keyboard, right? Every time you press something, whether it's in Snapchat, whether it's in messages, whether it's in notes, whether it's in WhatsApp, whether it's in like your private journal app, right? It collects this data and then it will categorize you. And who does that does what with the categorization? It gets sent off to, you guessed it, whoever it is, the servers, the government, the World Economic Forum, the evil people at the top of that, right? They will then categorize you in something by surveilling you like this. People do not understand this chat control thing, and with Apple's thing happening there, all in the UK, right? How serious and how dangerous this surveillance thing is. It's way beyond carbon footprint. It's way beyond social credit score. This is so deep, and they need the first domino to fall, which is to get this digital ID out there and for people to be on it. So I'm asking you, please share this video. People need to know so they know what they need to reject. Okay, please, please, please share this.
Well, I'm sufficiently freaked out having gotten a new phone. I want to go exchange my phone. I want to go back to like
Heather says you can call her husband.
I know. Yes.
Thank you, Heather.
All right. So we have a self-proclaimed Israeli-British psychic, Uri Geller, is warning Trump not to travel to Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, after his upcoming visit to Israel. He's supposed to go to Israel tomorrow and negotiate this peace treaty deal. Okay. And then I guess he's supposed to go to Egypt. And he says Geller fears for Trump's safety, urging him to surround himself with maximum security. He's a psychic.
Hi, this message is for you, Donald Trump. Wow, it's amazing that you're coming to Israel. Incredible that you're going to give a mind-blowing speech in the Knesset. But from there, you might be flying to Sharm el-Sheikh. Please read my message. I'm just very concerned. Please read the entire message. I say don't go there. Don't go to Sharm el-Sheikh. But if you do, make sure that you're protected, super protected, all around you. Don't let anyone close to you. And be careful. Be very careful.
So this was supposedly 3 hours before, if you go to the next video, multiple diplomats from Qatari delegation traveling with the Qatari prime minister have been killed in a car accident in Egypt after the vehicle was overturned, supposedly. Well, I think you might be able to fast forward. I don't know.
I don't think there's anything here.
It's
certainly not in English.
You should be able to see the car. That's the car. Yeah. So 3 senior Qatari officials from ceasefire negotiations, you can just see the car, were killed in a car crash on their way to this Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, 50 miles from where the signing of the peace plan is to take place. Somebody's saying it's a malfunctioning steering wheel. Other people are saying, obviously, that they were murdered. So
I don't trust anything. That's why we say it's not just a conspiracy theory if it's actually the truth. The conspiracy is just 2 or more people coming together to do something bad.
Yeah. So that's obviously pretty crazy. Go to the next one.
Well, my thoughts on the psychic. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
If he proves to be right,
Mm.
there are in the spirit, you can tap into stuff. You want to tap into the good stuff, you want to tap into the bad stuff. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. You don't want to tap into the bad stuff. Not this Bouillon.
Yeah. I want to play that one. That one was interesting because ABC Bouillon had people lined up, buyers rushing in for gold and silver like it was 1979. Oh, really?
Yeah, it says something went
No,
wrong.
WS, that's not the right video. Oh, there it is.
But there's no video under mine.
Scroll up and click on it. This one?
I just clicked on that, and that's what left me with nothing. So just tell us what it is.
People lined up in front of a bouillon place for I don't know, looks like 100 people waiting.
Where was it at?
I think
what
it
country?
was in the UK, actually.
Wow.
I'm not sure. But people are,
So we talked about this on Friday when silver hit $50. 2 things start.
Sydney, Australia.
Two things happen. You have the people that rush to buy it, and then you have the people that actually rush to sell.
So on October 9th, this was in Sydney, ABC Bouillon Sydney, level 1. So there's an address there. The queues extended well beyond the store entrance, with customers waiting in the hundreds during peak hours. Buyers included anti-establishment retirees traveling from regional areas, as well as everyday shoppers hedging against the fiat currency devaluation. Lines have lengthened progressively since early 2025, fueled by gold's 14% plus year-to-date gains.
Wow.
So people are just wanting to go buy it right there at the store. And there's just these huge
So I missed some comments on Facebook from a while ago. I don't know which clip we were talking about, but Gary says we need to listen to him. It may be unconventional, but it will be wisdom. I think maybe that was like the Robert Kiyosaki thing.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Okay.
Todd says in the 1970s, the consumer lost about 70% of their buying power. Now is a good time to stock up on non-perishable items, female hygiene products, and soaps, just to name a few. He says, a world where your credit score has more value than your savings, which is so sad. And you're so right about that. I do want to talk for 1 second about feminine hygiene products. I think most of our viewers, this doesn't apply because we have a lot of men as viewers and we all have a lot of women that are past this stage in life. But all men and all women know women who have this as a current fact of life. Years ago, I started sewing my own feminine hygiene pads. I stopped using them because it's so tedious to have to do the washing, but it's very simple. You know those ShamWow towels, ShamWows. So if you're a female and you know how to quilt, it's essentially, you just take a feminine napkin with wings. You can put a button for the back. It's brilliant, by the way. And you take and you quilt yourself cotton, ShamWow cotton. Okay. It's so brilliant. And then you can invert it.
That's
and,
good, yeah.
And so that's, you can use your own feminine napkin with the wings as a pattern. And I think that everybody should do this, right? Everybody should do this. If you want to sew in a line of, to be like extra sure, there's other things that you can sew in there, different fabrics that have like a waterproofing capability to them. I don't like those because they, I just don't find it very, I don't know, cleanable, I guess. It just makes me wonder if it's waterproof, then is it washing well, stuff getting stuck in there? So that kind of freaked me out. But in addition to that, since I started doing that, like 12 years ago, there have been a bajillion companies that have popped up that that make literal underwear that you can buy that is feminine protection underwear that you then just throw in the washing machine. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So if you want to invest in something in feminine hygiene products, my suggestion it's like reusable diapers is essentially what it is. I would invest in feminine hygiene underwear rather than, the actual products. But good point there, Todd. Let me check one more place for comments and then we'll move on. Over on Resistance Chicks YouTube, I can't believe you guys are still over there. You're so amazing. John says, It will go from ID card to a microchip that will be in your hand or your forehead to be the most secure. Let's see. Safeway in my area has a 0 sugar fizzy fruit flavor water, and it's caffeine free. He says, I don't see any women in those troop formations, I think, with El Salvador, and says, that is out of pocket, being about to see someone's finances around you. Oh, I know. With China being able to look and see who's in debt, that's awful.
Michelle, if you go to the ones I just retweeted, I did find a picture of a queue of all these kind of retirees in line at the ABC Bullion Exchange in Sydney. And then I have a video that I retweeted where the mainstream media in Australia was picking up on, and did a little program on silver just this within the past 2 weeks.
Brothers, Nelson Bunker Hunt and William Herber Hunt, branched out of oil and into silver. They tried to corner the global silver market and briefly succeeded, driving the price from under $2 an ounce to a peak of nearly $50 on January the 18th, 1980.
In my business, I suspect I'm on the overly aggressive side.
The Hunt brothers owned more than 100 million ounces of silver, and for a glorious moment, they were richer than their father, Haroldson Lafayette Hunt, one of America's first oil billionaires. But there was outrage and consternation. Tiffany's the jeweller took out an ad in the New York Times denouncing the Hunt brothers' behaviour as unconscionable. The authorities clamped down on using borrowed money to trade commodities, which caused what became known as Silver Thursday, March the 27th, 1980, when the price crashed and the Hunt brothers went bankrupt. In 2011, the silver price spiked again. This time it wasn't debt-funded shenanigans, but part of a general boom in commodities after the GFC. Investors were looking for safety, but the US dollar was not seen as safe with the memory of 2008 still fresh. So they turned to precious metals, and silver was also an industrial metal, and demand in China and India was booming. And now it's happening again, with both gold and silver booming, for exactly the same reason. Investors are looking for safety because share markets look expensive, but the US dollar is in decline because of lower interest rates and economic uncertainty as a result of the tariffs.
In other words, they charge us, we charge them.
So once again, they're turning to gold and silver. And silver is used in electronics, so the spending on artificial intelligence is causing industrial demand for it to boom again. Technical analysts, that is the druids who make a living in examining the entrails of graphs, reckon a major breakout is underway because of what they call the cup and handle formation. Well, we'll see about that, but this is already the third silver bubble in a century, and it could well be the biggest yet.
I think that's interesting that he mentioned the cup and handle formation, because that's something that Lynette is always talking about when you see the cup and the handle, meaning it's going to just, it keeps and then it's going to go like, so it's a cup and then the handle is like higher, but it's going up even it's going to keep going up and higher and higher. So I think that you're going to see that happening. I don't think it's going to go down. I think it's going to, be a new baseline that will just keep going up from there. So I thought that was interesting. Michelle, this is a fun kind of commercial break. This is Charlie Gee. I call them commercial breaks because it means nothing. It's just kind of a random video, but it's in the world news vein. One of the most respected and renowned stonemason, his work is performing restoration works on cathedrals throughout Europe, and it's some of the best. And he's only 23 years old.
Oh, wow.
so cool.
So our own Barry, Britt Baza, does
he's
engraving, but in metal. So I would imagine that you have a lot in common with these types of people. So Barry can see it and do it like that too, which I think is super cool.
Also,
really
something remarkable happened earlier this year that went unnoticed. The Papua New Guinea has officially amended its constitution to declare itself a Christian nation. With an overwhelming vote of 80-4, the amendment adds a declaration to the preamble of the constitution. Wow. We acknowledge and declare God, the Father, Jesus Christ the Son, and the Holy Spirit as our creator and sustainer of the entire universe and the source of power our powers and authorities delegated to the people and all the persons within the geographical jurisdiction of Papua New Guinea. Christianity will also now be reflected in the fifth goal of the Constitution, and the Bible will be recognized as a national symbol. In a world drifting far from the truth, this is so great. Papua New Guinea, well done. I pray a blessing over your nation, and may the Lord cause rains to rain when it should rain. Keep all the, what do you got? Hurricanes, or what do they call them over there? I don't know if you get, what's on that side? What do they call them over there? They call them something else over on that side.
Yeah.
But I just pray that you will be blessed and highly taken care of in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. And may you send some good mojo to Australia over there. All right. So just wanted to, we're going to round off today. We don't know, the hostages have not been released yet that I know of. I'll check. I want to play this last video here and maybe one more YouTube video on the hostages being released soon. Trump says the entire Middle East will be rebuilt, not just Gaza.
What guarantee did you give Hamas to persuade them that Israel will restart the bombing campaign once the hostages have been exchanged?
What did I do with respect to them?
I can't hear it.
I spoke a little bit tough. And that's what would happen. I mean, you have to speak tough. That's a tough world. That's a tough, as they say, neighborhood. And they're tough people. They're very tough people, and they're smart people. They're good negotiators. They have a lot of things going. They put that to good use. They're going to be very, very successful. But they knew the retribution would be tremendous, unsustainable. It would have been unsustainable. It would have been complete obliteration, and they didn't want that. And nobody wants it at this point. They want to get on with rebuilding the entire Middle East. It's not only Gaza. It's going to be the entire Middle East. They're going to be able to live in peace. Now we have some little hot spots, but they're very small. You know the ones I'm talking about. They're very small. They'll be very easy to put out. Those fires are going to be put out very quickly. Yes.
When he says fires, he means like skirmishes. Like I don't know. Like this is so. Trump is arrogant enough to believe that he can remodel the Middle East. Like it's just like buying a building and remodeling it, and like this is what he thinks that he can do.
Yes.
But it's unfortunate because it really does remind me of no offense, England, but you guys really had you have a bad track record of colonialism, and this really strikes me of like American colonialism, not the good kind.
Yeah.
Of like this superior, we're gonna go in and we're gonna put our U.S. sticker on the Middle East.
I don't think that either any of these countries mind. Honestly, it's just weird. So would you go to YouTube, Michelle?
Sure.
I want you to play the one from Fox News, awaiting the hostages. Israelis are ecstatic. They are hoping. There's 20 of them that are supposed to be released. So if you scroll down to that one, just the second one. There we go. Yep.
A Fox News alert, ecstatic Israelis celebrating President Trump as he heads to the Middle East later today for tomorrow's signing of his historic ceasefire, as the remaining hostages are set to finally be released from Hamas terrorists after 2 long years, and as thousands of Palestinians are returning to Gaza. The U.S. deploying SITCOM troops to help monitor the ceasefire without boots on the ground in Gaza. The Wall Street Journal has just begun reporting this morning that Hamas notified Israel that they do indeed have 20 living hostages. It's the first confirmation we've gotten of that existence, and that they may be prepared to begin releasing them tonight, as early as tonight. Clearly, the ceasefire has been holding. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, sources I know are confirming the same thing, and that's all good news. I mean, it was expected that they'd be able to get the 20 living hostages. Some thought it may take another day to do so, but they've obviously got them. And, you know, the problem is they're spread out over 3 different groups inside of Gaza, not just with Hamas. But the dead hostages certainly may take a little bit longer, although I think they'll release most of them. But I'm suspecting sources are pretty reliable that they're still looking for some of them. But nonetheless, this is going to be an epic day, to be sure, that we're going to witness either tonight or early Monday morning.
So we're still waiting. We don't know who and when this is actually going to happen. It's supposed to happen under the first phase of the new ceasefire deal. All the living hostages in Gaza are expected to be released in the next 24 hours in exchange for 2,000 Palestinians imprisoned by Israel. Israelis and Palestinians prepared on Sunday for an exchange of all of the living hostages still held in Gaza for about 2,000 Palestinians imprisoned in Israel, the cornerstone of a new ceasefire agreement. The Israeli government said the exchange was expected to begin on Monday morning local time, but Israel was prepared for it to happen even sooner. Under the agreement, Israel is supposed to free the Palestinian prisoners, scores of them serving life terms for deadly attacks on Israelis. In parallel with the hostage releases, this is a historic event that blends sorrow over the release of murderers and joy over the return of hostages. On both sides, there was relief mixed with elation after 2 devastating years of war, adding to the hope the open-ended truce between Israel and Hamas, which was brokered by the United States and Arab mediators and began at noon on Friday, appeared to be holding over the weekend. As part of the first phase of the ceasefire deal, Israeli forces have withdrawn to a new defensive line inside Gaza. The war created a dire humanitarian crisis in Gaza, and the deal provides a pathway for desperately needed food and medicine and other supplies. To me, again, guys, you know, I don't want to be some sort of defender of the Israeli government, but they had every right to go and lay siege to Gaza after 1,200 people were killed, and to do whatever they needed to do to get their hostages back. And a lot of people are saying that they went overboard. I'm sure what you're saying is you went for revenge and for going beyond just the gathering of the hostages. Well, what do you think October 7th was? Where you just randomly killed 1,200 people and you tortured a bunch of people. That's why the Middle East is such a, it's just a horrible situation all around.
So allow me to point a couple of things out in what Leah the different things that she's brought up. Since here we are, it's October 12th. It's 2 years and 5 days since this happened. I'm going to take the Charlie Kirk stance on this. And that is, I believe that there was a stand down order. I believe that Israel wanted to go in and to do what Israel has been doing. I believe that they want to remodel, the Gaza Strip. I think that they do want to, I think that they don't care about anybody. Okay. However, there are real people at stake. And there are real lives that have been impacted. So if you're going to come and you're going to watch my show and just get so upset, which we don't really have many of these people left. You all left. It's fine. And you want to say it didn't happen. There were no Israelis that were harmed. I can't follow you in that, because that's a lie. That's not true. I've seen these hostages come out. I don't live in fantasy, Mission Impossible number 25 movie where everybody's wearing a mask, everybody's fake, everything that you see is not true.
Right.
You can't believe literally anything that you see. Don't believe your lying eyes. All this. I can't live in that world because it's not the real world. That is chaos land. And in reality, in the world that we live in as a Christian, we can use our own judgment and the Holy Spirit to identify.
Well, why don't you show some pictures so people can do that? Like this New York Post article. This is Rayo Shalev, who I told you about earlier in the show. His girlfriend was killed at the festival, and he was he just committed suicide days after the second anniversary. Said he can't handle the pain anymore.
My point is that these are real hostages, and the fact that Israel is willing to exchange 2,000 criminals, war criminals,
You can scroll down and
for
see his
20 people, it actually should go to show you that Israel doesn't care about people. They don't.
Yeah, so I think that these.
Is that it? Just that other picture?
Yeah, and then I had this article. If you want to bring up who are the 20 that are left.
But do they even know the 20 that are left? Because there's like some bodies that the bodies they haven't even been able to find some of them.
So they are told that these are 20 that are left. Aventani, or there's a couple of them. 32-year-old partner of a rescued hostage, Noah Argamani, was abducted from the music festival. The couple had spent hours in a ditch after trying to flee by car when Hamas discovered them. Or had reportedly had the opportunity to escape, but did not want to leave behind his girlfriend at the hands of the monsters. He is an electrical engineer. There's an Argentina-Israeli national, 28-year-old brother of a fellow hostage, was abducted from his home. We don't know much about him. David Conillo, 33, was kidnapped from his home alongside his partner and twin daughters. His family has since confirmed through released hostages that he is alive. Eaton Horn was kidnapped at his home along with his brother. The brothers were among few men in their community taken alive. Their father was murdered that morning. Elon O'Leal, a 23 years old, a student from Hebrew University of Jerusalem, was kidnapped at the music festival. He appeared in Hamas footage from the massacre and was later confirmed to be held captive. Tamir Nimrodi, 20 years old, was last seen forced into the back of a terrorist jeep, wearing only his pajamas and missing his glasses and his shoes. Omri Miram was abducted in front of his wife and two children. The Hungarian-Israeli Kibutznik is finally set to return home to his wife and children. Another one, Bar Abraham Cooperstein, was working at the Nova Music Festival when Hamas invaded southern Israel. And Cooperstein's family explained that he had been evacuating those wounded by the terrorists and had returned to the site to aid more people a fourth time when the terrorists abducted him. So,
wow, that hero.
That's 1,200 people died, children died, women died. It was just a massacre.
And then they've been torturing these prisoners.
So
when you saw the last prisoner exchange that we saw, there was like 4 guys. They came out like so emaciated.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing left of them. I can guarantee you this guy that looks a little chunky on the left in the middle, if he gets released alive, you will not recognize him.
Mm-mm.
He will have been starved. Now, contrary to that, all of the prisoners and the war criminals that were released, they will come out happy and they'll come out like totally fine. They will not have been tortured.
Mm-hmm.
These people have been tortured. So I guess this is what listen.
Well, some of them might have been tortured.
Okay,
yeah,
well, by and large,
starved.
the 2,000 that you're going to see them, they're going to be
they're
just
not
like
going to be
last time.
starved.
They're not going to be
super
starved.
healthy. They're going to be and they're terrorists. They are in prison. They weren't kidnapped. This is not a soldier for soldier exchange.
Exactly, and it's not a hostage for a hostage exchange.
No.
So I guess again, yes, the Israeli government is corrupt and awful, and they do terrible things. So is the United States government, but so is Hamas, and so are these terrorists, and what they have done is wrong. And so if you cannot look at these faces of these people who are literally innocent in all of this and be thankful and grateful and happy for their families that they're going to be released because you are so obsessed with the Palestinian-Israeli issue, you have demons. Like, you need to know, you are possessed by the devil. Okay, like, we have to be able to go, praise God, these people are being released, I'm happy for their families, Hallelujah. We can address all of the issues as they each come up, but everything that is happening over there right now is corrupt. Innocent people are being harmed. They're being killed. You can talk about the Palestinians that are being harmed and killed because the Hamas uses them as shields, literally. Okay, so like, I guess I just get a little hot under the collar because I'm very happy for these people and I'm happy for their families. And I know that there are some of you that still watch our show that you'll just be angry that these people are being released because it's all a lie. And I'm like, no, it's not a lie. These are real people that were taken hostages. They are real people that are being starved and being tortured. And thank God, I do pray that they get released.
Last video. So this woman has some interesting prophetic insights. I don't know how accurate they are. Michelle, I would like for you to start around the 4-minute mark. Actually, a little bit after that, maybe 4:15 or 4:30. We're in 4:30. She's gonna take you through some of the prophetic calendars. It's interesting that these crashes tend to happen on a Friday with the long weekend, Columbus Day coming up. So she's going to talk about the 8th day and the Feast of Tabernacles and Sukkot and stuff. So let's
Tabernacles last for 7 days. Scripture sets the 8th day apart as a sacred assembly, a time of completion and new beginnings, you guys. Again, sacred assembly where everyone gathers together to dwell with God. And it ends a temporary dwelling, symbolizing entering God's permanent kingdom, and is a completion of God's redemptive timeline, resurrection into a new creation, an eternal dwelling with the Creator in a new world where the temporary gives way to the permanent. And it aligns with Revelation 21:3, and I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them." I want to go back and discuss the reset in the long weekend window and how all of this aligns biblically, because the market crashed on a Friday, which was textbook, you guys. It is textbook of phase 4, the weekend window timing, because Monday is a holiday. All of this is happening during the government shutdown. Let's go over the factors. The market crashed on a Friday. This creates urgency for intervention. The holiday weekend gives time for coordinated moves. Thin liquidity reduces volatility during announcements. Treasury Fed window is the ideal moment to roll out reset measures or collateral realignment, and a Tuesday open controlled narrative to the markets. What do we need to be watching out for? If something bigger is in motion, signals often appear in the 24 to 48 hours before or during the long weekend, which again, Monday is a holiday, Columbus Day, which represents the new world, because that is what Columbus called America when he arrived. And coincidentally, it is also the last day of the Feast of Tabernacles, which is a 7-day feast. 7th day represents completion, and the 8th day on the 14th represents new beginnings. This is the 24 to 48 hours, okay? Now, we need to be watching out for emergency central bank press releases or leaks of unscheduled meetings, sharp moves in overnight repo or foreign exchange swap spreads, Treasury announcements about debt buybacks, which is interesting because the Treasury just bought back $2 billion of the debt just a few days ago. So we know something's happening. We also need to be watching out for cash management bills or new facilities, quiet weekend press briefings about market stabilization, or international coordination language, G7 or IMF references, or joint statements. Let's go into why Columbus Day weekend is extra useful. The Treasury and Fed can operate without full market pressure. Bond markets are closed, so yields are frozen during key negotiations. Foreign exchange activity is reduced, allowing reference rate coordination. Any new monetary infrastructure like asset-backed digital currency launches, collateral reset, expanded buybacks can be announced late Monday or early Tuesday. This is exactly the kind of weekend window used for coordinated monetary operations. Now, I can't help but think about a certain conspiracy.
Are we back? No, I can hear myself.
Wait a minute.
It just
Nope, hang on. You need to wear this over your shoulder like a Continental soldier, please. Hang on. It was you. We can blame it on the dogs.
You have to. Bailey did it. She stepped on my microphone.
But this is going to make it so that we won't be able to use this Shure mic ever again if this keeps happening. Unfortunately, because that's what happened to the last one. So I'll have to buy a brand new mic, and I don't want to have to do that.
Bailey, what did you do? Can they hear us? It's going. So. It's been going.
No, it hasn't actually. It's just been going in your ear.
No, I've been watching it.
That's because it was picking up from the either from the laptop.
Does that mean they can hear us?
They can hear us, but they can't hear the.
Well, you get the idea of the video.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can be done.
Okay. All right.
That's the end of the show.
It's not the end of the show. Don't go anywhere. No one is allowed to leave. No one is allowed to leave. I've been trying to get Leah to do this since yesterday. And
right. Don't leave. I've been waiting since yesterday. You're the one moving the table now.
I know. Sorry. So let me pull this up. Corey had tagged us in the silver market versus the stock market, oil and U.S. dollar. Obviously, silver breaking out there. So I was trying to pull the show back up again. So let me double check and make sure we're still okay. All is well. We hear you. The clip stopped. All right, that's good. You guys are amazing. We have been ending every show.
Most shows. With a Coalition Reloaded song.
Right. Hang on. I'm going to get rid of this so that this can be used. Boom. There we go.
Are you sure we can't have the sun on us? It'd be so much warmer.
So the sun makes it so they really can't see us. If they don't care to see us, they see us all dappled, like, but you can move the umbrella if you would like the sun on you. Do you want to go move it?
I'm not going to move it because I don't want to mess anything up. The show's almost over, but it's look like it's gonna shining so nice. It's so gonna be.
That's why I actually moved the umbrella to keep it from shining on us because you can't see our faces.
Stop. Did you see my face?
But Leah's cold because she didn't dress accordingly. Michelle has pants, a dress, and a sweater on. Leah has a tiny little dress on.
It's not tiny. It's thick cotton.
Whatever.
Thick.
You don't have much of a dress on.
It's very long. Actually, it's a pretty long dress.
You don't have shorts on underneath,
Michelle. You're 5 years old.
I'm just saying you're not ready for this. It's chilly here in Ohio.
I wasn't dressed. So she is my sister. Sometimes she acts professionally, and then sometimes she just says things. We call it fart out the mouth. Okay.
We don't use that word.
I do for you when you do that.
Use that
and
word.
That's why you watch our show, because then you're just waiting for the moments. Because I don't usually do those kind of things. If Michelle doesn't, I just kind of have to roll with them. Like, Michelle, why do you say something like that? You know we're live with thousands of people. Did you put shorts on?
You're wearing a dress, so why does it matter?
But why would you ask that on television?
I didn't say. I said you
would
didn't.
Would they do that on GB News?
No, but we're not GB News.
I know, but I'm just saying, there's a modicum of decency that you don't get. It's not Joe Rogan perversion. It's just non-professionalism. And I know that's why you come for the show.
You guys come for the show and something super fun. I got to put this up here. I was scrolling through my
71 degrees. It should be warm, but it's just I'm sitting in normally I would.
So I want our reaction to be, whoa. You can move the umbrella if you want. I want our reaction to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to make us bigger. Here we go. All right.
Hi, guys.
So Leah has not listened to this yet.
I've been waiting.
I'm scrolling through my feed on Facebook, and I see Coalition Reloaded. You guys know we've been playing their music at the end of our shows. For those of you that don't know, I think you guys do know, Randall Crawford and Jason Jones and Randall's wife, Desiree, have been just working so hard, and Shane Gagnon, who has been doing their website, which Coalition Reloaded is a phenomenal website. You can listen to all their music over there. They have been working so hard to put out and to promote these amazing songs that Randall does. I know that he has a long list of songs, okay, but I also know that he is currently and actively writing songs. I was not prepared for a Resistance Chicks song, a custom song about the Resistance Chicks. So Randall has the widest range of musicality I have ever witnessed in my life. Okay. The different types of music that he produces. So when I clicked on this, I had no idea what to expect. I was just like, what is this? So Leah has not listened to this yet. And I only listened to it one time because I wanted I want to still have my second reaction be as excited. So I wanted to listen to it on repeat all day yesterday, but I didn't, because I wanted it, when I listened to it with Leah, I wanted it to be,
and we have a letter from Germany.
Well, you want to save it for next time?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll save that for next time. Let's just do this because I want to be able to make this into a reaction video for Coalition Reloaded, Randall Crawford making an original Resistance Chicks song.
Okay.
Okay, you're not ready for this.
Oh my gosh.
You're not ready.
There's our faces.
Yeah. it's Leah and Michelle with the Bibles unlocked, dropping true bombs daily like their live stream pop. They ain't here for the fame or political tricks. They the freedom tag team, resistance chicks, patriotic halo, star spangled with grace. Got that don't tread on me look on the face. They preach faith, roast lies while they need homemade bread, spitting scripture in the mic, devils breaking the sweat. They resist with the wrist, never twist that word. Every demon in the distance like, yo, I just heard from the homestead life to the podcast zone. They got faith in their bones and a flag of their own. Resistance chicks, resistance chicks, resistance chicks, resistance chicks. Yeah, they talk health, freedom, call out government schemes. Like stop trying to microchip my mac and cheese. Self-sufficient queens in the rural routine. Camera on, apron on, Holy Ghost machine. On Rumble, they rumble on YouTube. Yeah, they ban them cause the truth's too loud. But they bounce right back, resurrection style. With that Proverbs flow and that Paul profile. Yeah, they resist with the wrist, never twist that word. Every demon in the distance like, yo, I just heard from the homestead life to the podcast zone. They got faith in their bones and a flag of their own. Resistance chicks, resistance chicks, resistance chicks, resistance chicks. Bringing Jesus to the set like repent, no cap. Face strong like Samson when he snapped that strap. Culture going crazy, they ain't gonna fold. Got that Esther type courage in the mouthpiece of gold. Plant seeds, pull weeds while they fight for the nation. Holy fire in their eyes like a live revelation. No fear in their speech, just facts and conviction. They the remix of Roof with a Patriot edition. Cause they proud to win American. Proud to win American. So proud to be an American. Proud to be an American. So proud to be an American. Proud to be an American. So proud to be an American. Two sisters on a mission, yeah, they battle with love. Armor on, boots tight with back up from above. So if you think freedom's gone, boy, better rethink. Check the live stream feed, they the missing link. From politics to prayer, they gon' say what's real. Put a spotlight on the lies till the darkness kneels. They clap back with grace and they roast with a grin. Like we love you in Christ, but stop living in sin. They resist with the wrist, never twist that word. Every demon in the distance like, yo, I just heard from the homestead life to the podcast zone. They got faith in their bones and a flag of their own, yeah. Resistance chicks, Leah and Michelle dropping truth so hard, even heaven's like, well, resistant chicks, resistant chicks, chicks, resistant chicks, resistant chicks, resistant chicks, resistant chicks, chicks, resistant.
I can't. My cheeks hurt from smiling.
Resistant chicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
love
cried yesterday.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Like I was crying. Like I had this smile on my face.
Planting
and I'm
seeds,
sobbing. And I was just like, okay, here's the thing that gets me about Randall. His lyrics in his songs, like he doesn't know us that well.
Mhm.
How is it? I'm telling you, I believe that he writes prophetically. I think that when he is writing and he gets in that zone, whatever that is, the Holy Spirit is just flowing. Like he hit on everything. Like I can't even think of anything that he missed. You know what I mean?
We roll
Like-
on Rumble because they kicked us off of YouTube.
And the mouth of gold. And I couldn't, like, with the aprons on and the homesteading. It was like, so.
Well done.
Tell me that you guys loved it because it's like the greatest
that
thing.
fun?
I have to go to the comments.
That was so fun.
So cool. Glenda says it's wonderful that this was done for you. And Sherry says, I love that he didn't warn you about the song. So it was we have a group chat and I literally was like, what is this? Cause I'm over here sobbing. Like, no, he didn't tag me in the reel until like late last night. And it was yesterday morning that I saw it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Resurrection style. Let's see. We like spontaneous, non-professional behaviors. Don't forget the mac and cheese. Like literally, like they're trying to
We're not gonna microwave my food.
No, like
that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I know, but it's like a microchip.
Yeah,
in the mac and cheese or something like that. Here's the thing. I don't have it memorized yet because I've only listened to it 2 times.
That's the first time I got to listen to it.
Here's the problem. I have a conundrum that I want to ask you guys about, and I'm being dead serious. And I think I already know what I'm going to do. But so we have had the same intro for our show for 5 years, almost 5 years, 4 years. Okay. Hang on. I'm all over the place here. Wait, where did I go? There we go. This is like the type of song that you would have be your intro for your show, because other people like have songs that are like about them for their intro. And I'm 90% sure I'm going to do that. But there's a 10% part of me that doesn't want it to get played out. Because, you hear it every time we do a show, and I don't want people to get tired of it because it's so great.
That's fun.
So we have to use it for the show.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to get played out. So you guys are going to hear it a lot, because I'm going to, as time allows, because we've got a lot of irons in the fire. But Randall, I don't even know. And so you know what he said?
What?
Because I was like, I don't even know how to thank you.
He said this was the best way for us to sow into ministry.
He said, this is the only way that we can thank you for being so supportive. And what I told Leah is, I was like, this is the classic, like, silver and gold have I none, but such as I have, give I unto thee.
Yeah.
This is what Randall has to offer. And it's the greatest. It's so priceless.
So I can't wait to listen to it again.
A price
it makes me uncomfortable.
on it.
I will be honest.
Leah and Michelle, he says it on this song, like our names.
I know.
It's adorable.
Take me a minute to get used to it.
Love it. It's so back
it's
to
just
my
kind of a little
before
bit,
you had heard it,
a little bit much for me about
yourself. But for other people, it's super cool.
I like it though. I really do.
So
I
Leah,
appreciate it.
now
Thank
that you have heard it and the wide range that Randall has in his variety of types of music that he can write, was this not one of the most fitting genres that he could use?
Yeah,
like
for
it's
us, like,
hippie,
what
it's
else would
poppy,
you
it's
do? No, it's great.
It's just the greatest. Like, I thought it was just super, super fun. Let's see. You can play it in your mustard seed booth on repeat. I don't think I can listen to it that many times. I don't want to get sick of it. I want it to be as exciting every time I listen to it. So I've had to pull back on the Sound Mind song too a little bit, because I'm like, I still want it to be like my favorite, because you can do that. You get these songs and you love them so much, and then you overplay them. But we're gonna play this puppy, but it'll only be a portion, because I can't play the whole song for the intro. But like, I can't, like, the whole time I'm playing it for Leah, and like my cheeks were hurting from the smile on my face. Randall, I literally can't believe you did this. Can I just allow me to toot Randall's horn for 1 second? He is a Grammy award-winning artist that did music for and with Toby Mac for years.
Yeah.
So essentially, for all intents and purposes, we got like a professional, legit, on the radio level song written about us.
I know. How cool is that?
It's the coolest thing ever.
It's so cool.
It's the coolest thing ever. So there's your reaction video.
Yay.
Thank you, Randall.
No, it's very cool.
And he just literally titled it Resistance Chicks.
Well, there
That's
you
the
go.
name of the song.
There you go.
It's as simple as that. I can't even stand it.
I love it.
Don't even
people
know
are gonna,
what to say.
People should pay you to write songs about them.
Please. I had the same thought, and I thought, I don't know that would be right. It's a gift.
Should come from the heart.
And it did. It clearly can't. I can't get over the lyrics. The details, I want to listen to it again and again and have them all, like, it's like unwrapping a present.
I know. I have to go back and listen to it.
Okay, so we're gonna sign off, but I just want to end that segment by saying thank you, Randall.
Yes.
Shout out to Desiree and Jason and Shane and everybody that's supporting Coalition Reloaded. Please go and follow them on Facebook. Go follow them on Spotify. You can listen to their new album, How I Survived the End of the World, over there. And if you want to listen to just like all of the music, you can go to Coalition Reloaded, click on music. It will play in the background on your phone. Like, it's amazing. It's the greatest deal ever. They should never have done it. But I'm so thankful, because I'm playing it like all the time. I used to listen to Pandora. Now I'm just listening to Coalition Reloaded all the time. So, all right. So that's the, I need a mixtape, says Sherry. Barry says, good beats. KO4 says, so cool. I know that you guys love it. Then I got a message from Loretta yesterday, and she's like, isn't that the coolest song? She's like, and I was like, I know, I'm so amazed. And then she's like, my husband was listening to it and he couldn't believe it, and he wanted to hear where he could hear more music, which I just thought was so awesome. All right, so we're going to sign off. Thank you, Leah, for another phenomenal show.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for our people finding us. Like, I would say the amount of viewers that we've had on X, for the amount of people following us is a pretty great ratio.
That's awesome.
On the news.
We're live over there on X. Back again. There are 5 followers. No, there's several of you have found us. Please go and find us on X. Resistance Chicks without the I is the best way that you can find it.
Some of them are definitely spam, but you can keep
without the
following
I
me.
and the chicks, I guess I should say. Yes, and please keep messaging support to get Leah's other channel back.
It is what it is.
Okay.
I got 2. Now I got 3.
It's a badge of honor.
Do
you know how many people I've seen them show up? Like, what was Superhero Don on Facebook? He's had like 25 profiles on Facebook. Okay, we love you guys. God loves you. God bless. Remember, it's not just a conspiracy theory if it's actually the truth. And don't forget, you can always find our holistic, healthy products at shop.resistancechicks.com. We have lots coming in the queue. So pray for us that I can get those launched before Mustard Seed Market in mid-November and before Black Friday. I'm going to be spending the rest of this month getting everything ready for lots and lots and lots and lots.
Yay.
So the only thing that Leah has to do is make us some deodorant in some 4-ounce containers. We're going to make those available, and you've got to make us some more soap. Right? So that's all I'm putting on you. The rest is on me. So you should breathe easy.
Sunblock. Do you want to
Oh,
do sunblock?
that's true. You're doing sunblock and maybe bug spray too. So we'll see. Sunblock for sure.
We might just wait for a little bit next summer for bug spray to come out.
We'll see. Well, you shouldn't have any bugs where you're at right now. Right. Glenda says, bye everyone. Blessings. Becca says, just got here. Bye and have a blessed week. You guys are awesome. Okay. And KO4 says to use it. So we definitely will. We love you guys. God loves you. God bless. Remember, it's not just a conspiracy theory. If it's actually the truth, we will see you on Tuesday night for Healing for the Fractured Soul, part 2 of the parental wounds. We're going to be going into the father wound this week. So your homework, if you did not see Tuesday's episode, the mother wound, go and watch that so that you will be up to speed for Tuesday's show. All right. Good night, guys. We love you. God bless.